So who wants to do just a quick rundown of last session, get us back up to speed?
I'll go again, I guess.
The usual, yeah.
Typically.
Sorry, Kajin, what was that?
I don't need it. I'm inspiring enough.
Otto?
So, where we last left off, yada yada yada, we accosted the missing children. They bitch smacked us from creatures that we could not perceive. We decided to book it out because this was a fight we weren't going to win. We went to the graveyard because we found Siona was heading that way. She was acting weird, and then she started not acting weird anymore. She was talking about a mysterious kid named Henry. Then we ran into a group of other monster hunters who were also looking into the weirdness that was going on in Norstow. Skip ahead, skip ahead, skip ahead. We look around, try to find other things, figure out that Henry is probably the missing fetus that is trying to get back to its mother. And, yeah, didn't really know what to do with that. We've tried to coax him out to contact Siona and try to lead us to a way of fixing this issue. Then we decide to go to Longstow, quick grab of supplies, head on back over to the graveyard. And then we meet the other group of hunters that are already there inspecting the area. They set up a trap for the night mother for nighttime. Then, yeah, night comes. She rises up. We do our best to kill her. No one seems to be able to shoot very well in the dark. So it took a little longer than usual, but we eventually did kill the night mother, who actually tore Jeffrey in half with one cleave of her claws, which was interesting. And then other than that, we of course lose track of Siona. We freak out, try to find her back at home. Turns out she decided she wanted to barbecue Nana. We find her there, having thrown Nana into the fireplace and is roasting her. Then we try to save Nana, but it's futile, and Siona hands us our ass, and she is possessed. My house gets caught on fire. I get knocked out. Nyx drags me out of the fire. And then Corin proceeds to knock out my daughter. And then we wake up. My house is pretty much up in flames. Nothing much we can really do. Corin gives me my token. Thank you, Corin. And then other than that, yeah, the townspeople say, yeah, no hard feelings or nothing, but you gotta go. And that's pretty much it. They gave us a bag of gold. We ran into the hunters from last night, and they said, if you ever need any help, give us a ring. And then, yeah, we decided to take a little siesta in Longstow, and we're deciding where to go from there.
Okay, all good. So, yeah, if you guys want to do anything in Longstow, it being the large industrial forestry based city, or I believe the last idea was just to start walking over to Aincourt. Yeah.
So are we in Longstown?
Well,
yes.
At the moment, yeah. I suppose we can just do the day before you leave for your trip. If there's something you guys want to do.
Right. Couple of things. One, did we get a long rest?
Yeah. You guys can have your long rest.
Okay. Two, Finley, you had bought 5 flasks of oil. How many did you give to me? I used at least 2, but were they all for me, or did you want some for yourself?
I bought 5, gave 2 to you. If you'd like, I got 3 more.
Yeah, I could use them to get 10 arrows out of a single flask.
Righty then. Here's yours.
Alright, I'll have that in my inventory.
That's 3 flasks for you. Oh, and I also have the lead box with the amulet in it. I just remembered that.
Yeah, I think you're the only one strong enough to carry it.
Hey, y'all just little twiggy ones.
Do we have anyone that can identify that by chance?
In town, mayhaps there's a magic slinger about.
Do you have any magic slingers in the group?
Oi, half-man. You know anything about it? Or maybe yous? Maybe you, Atlas?
Not I.
Sorry, I just sling magic. I don't know much about it.
Right then.
Well, I was kind of interested in seeking out those that group of humans that had come by Northstowe. I think they might be here, and there could be someone who could investigate it there.
Aye, they had a magician with them.
Yeah.
What was the Iron what's it?
Company.
Well, unless you want me to start screaming asking for him.
No, that's fine. I will scream asking for them. I'm just gonna run through the town.
Ah!
Iron Company, hello. It's okay. This is how we find each other in the forest all the time.
Yeah.
I lived in the forest for how much? For nigh on over a decade. That is not how you do it.
Nick,
This.
you
Sorry,
can
go
roll
ahead.
an investigation if you want to see if you can piece together the clues to hunt down the Iron Company.
It's pretty good for me.
Yeah, it is. Given that you guys came in here and took some time to have a long rest and settle yourself, and you get the feeling that the Iron Company didn't even bother staying that long. They just picked up their gold and left, and no one seems to know which way they wandered off.
Right on. So they're not stationed here. Okay, off to Eincourt then.
Okay.
Listen, you all wanted somewhere else.
I'd like to find a shop and just buy some studded leather armor.
Eincourt's definitely the place.
Oh, I thought I can get it in Longstow.
Yeah,
maybe.
you can get your basic adventuring gear from Longstow. It is still a large city, even though it's purely industrially focused. But the fancier stuff and the trade goods, everything that costs a little bit more and has gold trim, is the stuff you can find in Aincourt. But yeah, if you want the studded leather, just the usual price out of the book, and you can pick it up in Longstow, no problem.
I'm actually interested in finding a leather crafter.
Might be here.
You can find a leather crafter in Longstow, no problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him.
All right. You are directed quite nicely and without care for dice rolls towards the Leatherman, who has a bit of a shop, but yeah, seems like your old gruff hunter-style human. It looks like he's spent more time outside of the roof than under it.
Right. Okay. Hello there. You look like just the kind of gent I want to talk to. Put her bow down and sling her quiver onto the table. So, I have here, and she's going to pull out, I have 8 wolf hides and 1 wolf skull. How are you feeling about a custom order?
Rightio, little miss. You want me to make you up some leather out of this here wolf hide, yeah?
Yeah, and what I was actually looking for, if we could hollow out the skull a bit and make it into a hood so that when I put it over my head, I have a wolf skull on me.
Alright, little miss
I
likes her
like it.
theatrics, eh?
What's that?
Little miss likes her theatrics.
Well, sure. I mean, if you're going to play the part of the predator, you might as well look it.
It comes naturally to me.
So you can see all the teeth are still intact. Hopefully we can keep them there. Strike fear into the heart of my enemies. And if we can, I'd like to keep some of the natural wolf fur to the armor itself instead of tanning the whole thing.
Alright. Might be able to pull something together. And just for strictly alright, there we are. Mechanical wise, he can basically give you the armor class of the wolf, which is a 13 in armor, which is comparable to, yeah, that's some pretty good light armor. It bumps it up into, so it'll be 13 plus dex to a max of 2, so equivalent to a chain shirt, but as light armor. However, as a custom order, it's quite pricey at 650 gold.
I don't think anyone's got that.
No, I don't have that. Alrighty then. If I buy studded leather, what's that going to cost me?
Studded leather, basic price is 45 gold.
Yeah, I was just looking for a studded leather with some decal to it.
Yep. You can have a bit of flair and a bit of fur trim if you want, but yeah, using my crafted armor rules, so you can still get the natural armor and defenses of certain creatures you killed. It's basically for up to 12 AC, 50 gold per AC. Above that, 150, and if you want the heavy armor stuff, it's 250 gold per AC. So if you get something with 20 natural armor, it's going to be a bit pricey for 5,000 gold to make.
Sure, but yeah, I'm not a barbarian trying to get away with hide armor or anything.
Yeah.
I just need studded leather. I wanted it to look to maintain some of the fur of the wolf, and then just for a little custom hood kind of thing.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, wolf hide isn't the best to use. If you've ever tried comparing cowhide to sheep's hide in its defensive capability, it's not even close. So he can make you some standard cow leather studded armor and give you a nice wolf fur trim. Make it a bit wolfy in look.
Yeah, that'll work. And yeah, if we can get a cloak or hood kind of accoutrement to it, that'd be great.
Yeah, so a total of 50 gold, I'd say, and he can give you the studded leather and add a couple of bits and bobs here and there to make it look as wolfy as you intended.
Awesome. Thank you.
Alright. Let me ask you.
Does he use all the hide? I have 8 hides and 1 skull.
No, he uses the skull and one of the hides for the trim, and asks you what you intend to do with the rest of it.
Well, nothing, honestly. So, you're welcome to it if you want.
Alright, little miss. I'll give you 2 silver for each.
Sure.
No, so you had an extra 7. So
Yes, that's 14 silver.
14 silver. Enough for a few meals.
Works for me. Cool. I'm done here in Longstow, guys.
Yay! Oh, fancy.
Yeah, that's
Just
gonna be
put the hood
warm as
over
shit
and
when you go down
growl a little
south.
Trying to look like someone you know.
Didn't
I'm
realize it,
flattered.
but yeah, kind of going that route. Yeah, but the skull is a little bit off, but sure.
Aye, quite puny compared to mine.
Alright, so everyone
So-
bands together after their short stay in Longstow, getting a long rest in and getting some wolfhide style armor crafted up. And yeah, you guys continue on with your plan to travel to Ironcourt.
Indeed. Unless anyone else wants to go anywhere.
You head off, and you can tell that this direction is pretty well travelled. There's a bit of a sort of a triangle of well travelled and sometimes even paved paths between the major cities of Mercia. And you travel along without any issue finding a direction, just one foot in front of the other. You pass a couple of people who are coming in the opposite direction. A couple of mounted fellas and the odd cart or so travelling in your direction, but they pass you rather quickly and continue on, giving you naught but just a curious, quizzical look as they do so. And after a day or so of travel, you wander down largely on your own on this stretch of road, and you see up ahead of you what looks to be a fella sitting off one of the nearby forks in the road, just sitting there by the side.
We pass him without ever inquiring. Just
Don't
kidding.
even joke.
That's the spirit.
Joking.
That's what my group did at my table once.
That's lame.
Yeah, we're gonna walk through with our fingers in our ears, going la la la. Can't hear you.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll give him a wave.
Now, as you get closer and look at him, you see that he's got a makeshift bandage out and is bandaging around his right thigh. And Finley, you can immediately smell human blood. So it seems like he's doing first aid for an injury.
Hi there, lad. Yeah, have yourself a bit of trouble?
And he's not even bothered to look up. He just continues wrapping around. He goes, "Oh, you could say something like that." And then looks up at you, and you can tell just for that split second that there's a bit of hesitation and fear, and then he just looks over the whole group and calms down and goes, "Oh, yeah. We were travelling down here with me buddy in his cart, and some kind of creature jumped out and attacked us. Horse bolted and threw me off, and my friend in the cart just shot down this side path here. If you look, I'm too injured to follow and find out what happened to him, and I reckon that creature might still be about. So, you look like a capable lot. You want to help a fella out and go check on his friend?"
I don't mind.
Well, we's a bit.
Is he on the ground right now? Where is he?
He's just sitting on a bit of fallen timber, just off the side of the road, bandaging his thigh.
All right, I'm gonna put my hood up, and I'm gonna just crouch down and look at him through the skull. Do I get the sense he's lying to us?
Roll for insight.
Very nice.
Yeah, he's definitely not telling you all.
Yeah.
And there's quite a nice gash on his leg, so he must have fallen awkwardly if he fell out of the cart. But you can tell he's keeping something back.
Sure. Are you sure you're giving us all of the information that we need? I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna pop Tinsel out from behind him. And Tinsel's gonna be invisible.
Okay.
I catch a whiff of pixie dust suddenly.
Think happy thoughts and you start flying.
Ah.
Yeah, he farts rainbows. That's it. And as I'm looking over, I'm just going to ask him. Think hard. I mean, if we're going to help your friend, we're going to need to know all relevant information. Please tell us everything you know. Take your time. And as he responds, I'm going to do something when he's talking. He's a little distracted.
Okay. Dang it. Right, well, I think I got a good look at the creature. Seemed to just burst out of the ground like some sort of shark and take a nip at the horse. Didn't see anything until it burst out.
Tinsel's going to float up quietly and put his hand on him.
Alright. And this looks like a physical touch. And
yeah.
Alright, so
current
DC
emotional... DC 10 charisma saving throw. If he is celestial, fiend, or undead, he automatically fails.
Okay, he is succeeds. And yeah, his emotional state, according to your tinsel sprite, is agitated, concerned, and a little bit scared.
Yeah, seems to be on the up and up.
You know where he went? What about your friend? He's still alive.
I can't say. Well, lost sight as I hit the ground, but the cart shot down this road, pulled by the panicked horse. Shouldn't be too far off the path, I don't think, but you want to check on him and see if that beast is still around, and if it is, deal with it so I can find my friend.
Well, I don't mind helping him. Seems like a good lad.
Okay.
If you don't mind, we're a bit short on funds. Help us help you, eh?
Alright. I see how you're getting it. We had a coin box on the cart, though. If you want any payment for this, you're going to have to find it.
Sounds fair. It's ours then. But we'll get your cart back in, your friend, if he ain't already been eaten alive.
Where is Siona, Finley?
She'll be right next to me, eh?
Oh, God, there she is. I didn't see you, love.
That's why I bought her the nice pretty cloak. That way you can see her.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, lovely?
It's intelligence that you dump, Stat, not your wisdom.
Well, are you a little worried about Siona's safety? We can go fight a shark.
I'll kneel down and look towards her. Fiona, what would you like to do?
Well, Pa, seems to me this fella needs a helping, and we're the helping sort. So let's go helping.
I pet her head. Ah, you're such a sweetie. She just how's I raised ya. See? She fine.
Mm-hmm. I'm just...
We'll keep her up high. How about that?
Alright. I'm just gonna hand my dagger to Siona.
Fucking sweet.
She ain't bloody fighting. That ain't happening.
Sure. She's also... That's fine. She's also never gonna get possessed and run off.
Absolutely. And you don't say another word about it.
All right, let's go track something down. I'm getting bored. Time to kill something.
Hey, quit your gobbing.
Alright, so who's at the front?
I am.
Survival. Rolling for tracks.
Jesus.
Lovely. Can I smell a horse?
Okay, so next takes the lead, and using her excellent tracking skills, she just pretty much follows the road as it offshoots off the main drag towards Aincourt, and you can tell it doesn't take anyone proficient in it to see the gouges marked from a cart and the large chunks taken out by a panicked horse's hoofs. So yeah, eventually you travel along, and perception check from Finley.
Cool. Regular?
This would be smell, so advantage.
Thanks.
Okay. So Finley confirms that you're on the basically right path as he gets a whiff of blood. And it's a bit of a
you're on the right path.
It's neither horse nor human. Kind of a combination of the two.
A horseman.
Oh, a man horse.
Or just a human
I've
and
heard
a
of
horse
those.
in the same area.
Oh. I like my idea better.
Yes, yeah, it's silly. Obviously it's a man horse.
Nay, I say it's a horseman.
Man horse.
Horseman.
Can we do this for an extended period of time?
As you continue the rest of the path, and you eventually decide, alright, so half man, half horse, half pig. And eventually you come across, and you guys see what looks to be an overturned cart with contents strewn about just off the side of the road. And you do see what is lying motionless, a human body and half of a horse at the front, still tied up to the cart, but the back half seems to have been entirely ripped off.
I'll cover Siona's eyes. He's sleeping.
Yeah.
Best not let him go. Siona, let's go on back here, eh? Take a look at the cart instead.
Right. Tinsel, do me a favor, love. Take a search around the area, see if you find anything odd.
Okay, perception check from Tinsel.
Oh, don't know why that's at advantage.
Okay,
I think that's 10 then?
That's a 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tinsel goes up, specifically just checking out the area to see what's what. And Tinsel does detect what appears to be a section of overturned earth just nearby the cart, like someone's taken a shovel and dug around for a bit for some reason. But apart from that, the rest of the area just seems pretty well straight up and normal. Does anyone else want to have a look?
I'll definitely take a look about.
Alright, you can roll a perception check.
Much better.
As they're doing this, can I maybe put Siona up on a tree?
Yeah, you can wander off and find something
Yeah,
off the beaten path.
Yeah, I just want her off the ground for a little while.
Okay, so Corwin, you just checking out the area, or are you looking in the cart, or?
I'm definitely keeping an eye on the area.
I'm gonna grow some vines so I'll be able to secure her, so she has something to hold on to.
All right. Well, yeah, she's a kid, and kids like climbing trees, and she's got some upper body strength, so you think she's quite settled up in the tree, just off the path, still within eyesight and earshot.
Right.
And
You
Corwin.
see anything, you just give me a shout, eh? Be right down here.
Yeah, you look around the outside of the area, and apart from finding that same section of tilled earth, you don't detect anything else. So what do you guys want to do?
Might as well take a look at that body.
Oh, the human?
Either or, meat's meat.
Alright. Okay. You wanna put
How does the
chewing?
how do the how do the gashes look? They fairly deep? Was it made by curved claws? Was it made by teeth?
Alright, so you're investigating the horse first to see the rather severe wound.
I'll take a look at the horse first.
You detect up on the chest of the horse is two rather deep slashes straight across the chest, caused by some either sword or claw, while the back end looks like it's just been completely chomped off. You'd say it's more of a tooth mark than just tearing. Something came up and bit the arse end out of this horse. You check the human, who doesn't look much better. Still largely intact, a fair bit of scratching, bruising and bleeding, and you do notice that sticking out of his chest is the feathered end of 2 arrows.
I didn't do it, I swear.
I was just about to signal for you. Next, eh?
Yeah.
Take a look.
Alright.
You recognize?
Pull one of the arrows out.
Alright, strength check.
It's really in there, apparently.
Wow.
Okay, so you grab hold of the arrow and start pulling. You quickly realise that this is a barbed-headed arrow and it's made to go in and not easily come out. So you just basically start jerking a dead body across the floor as you tug on this arrow.
I put my foot on the chest to try and get some extra leverage.
Alright, I'll give you another strength check. Yeah, that'll do it. So next,
Thank Thea,
foot,
Siona's not here.
standing on the chest of this dead man, reaches up and on the second pull pulls out the arrow along with a not inconsiderable portion of chest meat. Yeah, it just looks like a quite decently made, regular run-of-the-mill hunting arrow.
Well, might as well use it.
Okay, you can have one arrow extra in your quiver.
Oh, it's not a special barbed arrow.
All arrows, the basic arrow goes in, doesn't come out style.
Lovely.
That's fine.
Did anyone check that body to see if it was a body before they went and ripping arrows out of it?
Hey, there was a body next to the horse when we got here.
Wait,
I
You mean,
think
you
what he
sure he
means
was
is, was
dead?
it dead?
Ah,
Well, yeah, if he wasn't
I
dead
wonder.
beforehand, he's definitely dead now, as Nick says.
give him a kick.
I'll put it back. I'll put everything back.
This is there you go.
No, yeah, he's well and truly dead.
Sure.
I could give him a healing word. Maybe that'll help.
I wouldn't waste it.
Hey.
All right. Like you said, the arrow is well crafted.
Yeah, I mean, it's easily a match for anything you've got in your quiver.
Okay.
But yeah, there's no added accoutrement or fancy bits to it. It's just a decently well crafted arrow. So
Right.
probably rules out goblins.
Yeah, exactly. That was my question. Was like if the arrows were clumsily made or anything. All right. I'm gonna. Someone fired this. I'm gonna go find out where they fired it from, and I'm gonna go do a perimeter check.
That guy back there, did he have a bow on him?
Not that you saw, but
Hey.
he was sitting up on a bit of fallen timber. I mean, he could have stashed the bow anywhere else. So just sit behind the log. So you can't.
Tinsel was behind the guy. Did Tinsel see it?
Tinsel wasn't looking. It was more molesting the dude from behind. But yeah, no one saw a bow, but you can't explicitly rule it out. All right.
He seemed scared, nervous. Hell, could have been 'cause something chomped his horse, but could also be something else. Either way, let's I'm gonna take a look in that cart, eh?
Okay. And at this stage, Jeffrey the sheep has meandered over to the horse and is now chewing on what's left of it.
Cool.
Eh.
More just burying his head in rather than tearing chunks off and going from the inside out. So he's gonna do a wash. So
That was fun.
You do that. I want nothing to do with the fucking devil.
okay, so perception check for you, Finley, just at normal as you rummage about and have a look for shit in the cart and strewn about the landscape.
Hey. No.
Yeah, you find crates and barrels and boxes. Nothing really piques your eye. You get the feeling that this fella's a trader, specialising in cloth, as there are just bolts and bolts of woven various coloured cloth. But yeah, you don't find
No, take it.
that little money box that you were hoping for, I bet.
That lion cunt.
Alrighty. Passive perceptions. Who's got the highest?
Think I do? I don't know.
That's 15.
How do you find it again?
It's 10 plus your perception.
Mine's 11.
15 then.
I was looking around though. I was hunting around for any where these arrows might have come from.
Yep, I'll give you a perception check active.
Jesus.
Yeah, you're not very good at this looking around
My
business.
passive is better. Rolling shit today.
Alright. So I will say that, almost all of you, and if one of you notices, all of you notices, as the ground beneath Finley starts to bubble up from beneath, and something rushes out to attack him, and
I want to jump!
over. And, since he only rolled a 13 for the stealth check, no surprise advantage round on his part, so just straight in the
Phew.
turn order. So everyone roll for initiative.
Well, ain't you fucking pretty?
Ah! I'm getting EV flashbacks here.
Alrighty, is everyone on?
So?
She hasn't turned up yet, so I'll just pop her out of the way. Alright, next. You can hear this as the ground seems to rumble just off behind you. And you turn around and see the cresting head of this land shark going after Finn, and you react instinctively. What are you doing?
Well, feeling reckless.
Feeling daring.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that,
my first time.
That music playing for everyone else?
I
Yeah,
can
it's
hear it.
It's not coming up. Must be a thing with Firefox. No, I'll sort that out later. I don't need to hear the music.
What?
That is not the measuring tool.
Yeah, that's the draw.
Interesting.
All right. Yeah. Whatever. I'll make a shot.
Okay, take a shot at the armored hide of the bullet. 19 is a hit. Perfectly done. So, hell of a way to open up the encounter.
Lovely.
I'm gonna get to some. I already am on the high ground, aren't I?
Yeah, pretty much. It's all a little downhill from there.
Yeah. I'll get
Are
to
we at
this.
level 4?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
I forgot to level up.
A little late now.
All right. Just gonna fly up into the air about 20 feet, and then move forward a bit.
Okay, cool. Is that it for you?
Yep.
He's gonna eat me!
A little bit. So, yeah, as the creature just bursts out of the ground, before it's even got its head and shoulders clear, Nyx just turns around and with one fluid motion lets fly an arrow which shoots up just behind the head plate and digs into the creature's soft and supple neck. But it's apparently fixed on its target and goes straight after Finley for a...
Bring it on, you ugly fuck!
Rolls a 2. So... Then... yeah, fuck it. It's just going to stay right in your face, trying to chomp on you as you definitely sidestep it. And it's down to you, Finley.
Alright. I'm going bear. Get that. Change
Yes!
around.
Give it more meat to eat!
Anyway. Let's see, where's my thingy? There. Yeesh.
Alright, the
Double.
23 hits and the 17 does hit, but yeah, you want to
Hey.
improve your damage a little bit.
Gee, I would love to. I can't use weapons though.
Just stop rolling ones
Maybe-
until you start. Anything else for you, Finley?
No, that's it for bear.
Alright,
Barely.
so Finley bear forms it out of the park, but yeah, even though he's connecting with the big swipes and the bites, the thick hide of this just doesn't allow him to punch it too far, and all you do is basically scratch up its face a little bit.
I'm just happy I'm hitting it.
Yeah. Okay, Jeffrey's turn. and-
I'll move here actually. Yeah, and that'll be me.
No problem. So at this stage, Jeffrey has disappeared within the
Into the horse.
of the horse,
Ugh.
and is apparently just completely oblivious to the combat around him. And we drop down to Corwin.
Good. Fuck that thing.
Alright. Yep. 35 feet. Boop. And
You're fast.
He's mobile now. All right.
Ouch.
So yeah, Corwin rushes up, dodges around the bear. It's just you can see the sound of scraping. It almost sounds like metal on metal as he goes for a strike with the rapier, and it just bounces off the head of the creature. But then he sees his opening and stabs it in the eye with a dagger, doing considerable damage. As you found
very
a
nice.
soft spot, and it reels back in pain.
Owie.
Anything else for you, Corwin?
nope, that's everything.
All right, level 3 Atlas, you're up.
Yay.
I assume that's to the bullet and not point blank and
Yeah.
pencil.
Yeah, to the
You
bullet.
see it for the first time. The fuck is this? Alright.
Ah!
18 does manage to hit as you arc through and hit the bullet in the rear as it turns to face Bear Finley, doing an appreciable 9 points of damage. And it is looking about halfway fucked up.
I'm done for my turn.
Alright, next back around to you. Ooh. Yep. With a 12, apparently Finley's just not taking into account lines of fire and is getting in your road. And in your efforts to avoid shooting him in the face, you just aim
I
a
don't
little
see
wide.
me doing
and,
that, but okay.
It's mine.
Alright, so you let loose. But yeah, the flowing combat between the bullet and now the bear form of Finley just shoves your target out of the way at the last second, and your arrow just skids off, barely missing it by a hair's breadth, but
Barely.
Yeah, barely. Anything else to do next?
Nope. Actually, Tinsel's going to go up another 10 feet, so he's 30 feet up.
Alright. And the bullet's had enough bear in its face for the time being, and is going to rush over to here and leap onto Atlas.
Yay!
So attack of opportunity from Finley and Corwin, if you want to use your reactions.
Sure do.
Nope. The
Does
bite
that
does
bite
connect.
hit?
It does.
Okay, so he was reduced to 0 then for his movement because I have Sentinel.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. That's why I took it.
Perfect. So you catch him there as he attempts. Well,
It's like, rah!
yeah, he'd be there at the end
Is this
of
like-
his movement out of your direction, and you can bite down.
Yeah.
Doing the glancing blow, but still a connection, so 5 feet.
That's all
As
I
I
can
just
do.
imagine
Roll ones.
I just imagine you biting him on the ass and then clawing him to a standstill as he's
Yeah.
trying to
You're mine.
Yep. Atlas, you see as the creature just turns to you, and with big, powerful legs, it just starts rushing towards you and takes a leap. And as it just lifts off the ground, the bear turns around and latches onto its ankle and just whoop, smashes it to the ground. And the creature stops, almost stunned, and turns around. And it's the only one in range. It's gonna have to turn around and take a bite out of the bear for a 19 to hit.
That'll do it.
And the bear form takes 32 points of piercing damage.
Okay, well, I got 2 hit points left.
Okay, that's it for him. We drop back around to the bear.
Okay, fuck this thing.
Yeah, you've noticed that its mouth is bigger than yours, and it can almost swallow you whole.
Yeah. Oh, well, first hit was pretty alright.
Yeah, that's a nice solid bite as you return the favour and bite onto him, passing around the side, aiming for the shoulder and just digging in. It's not quite as armoured on the arms as it is on the face, but that's an appreciable amount of damage. Anything else for you, Finley?
Okay. No. I'll stay right here.
Okay, and Jeffrey's still wallowing, doing his best Luke in the Tauntaun impression. And we drop down to Colin.
Please kill this thing.
Bonus action. Hide.
Alright.
And then action. And move up over here. Do I have to roll or how's that work?
Alright. Do you have... Yeah, you can bonus action your rogue.
Yeah.
Can't you? Yeah.
Yep.
So, yep, you are... Well, you're going to have to roll a stealth.
Okay.
22 will do it, so yeah, you were hidden from the creature. Alright,
Ooh.
Nice.
very well hidden from
And
the
then
creature.
that's we were going with double damage on sneak attacks and
Yeah,
all
Yeah.
just
those
roll your sneak
oddities.
attack and double it.
10,
Snack attack.
So that's 10.
24.
Nice hit.
Alright.
Very nice hit.
So
And
the
I'm
small-
going to
Yep.
gonna use the rest of my movement here to back the ass up.
Back that ass up.
That'll
Alright.
get for me.
You are mobile as well, correct? Now?
Yep.
So yeah,
Mobile.
you hit, and so it can't take attack of opportunity against you. Okay, So you guys watch as this halfling just seems to crawl up the back end of the bear, and just with a jumping leap, leaps off the head of the bear, lands on the head of the bullet, and just digs in the rapier right to the hilt across the back of the neck before
Nice work.
backflipping off it and gaining some distance. And by this stage the bullet, well, he's not having a fun time. Atlas.
Please run. Please run. I want you to run.
Alright. Atlas for the kill steal.
Whoa. Oh yeah, Scorching Ray does 3. That's awesome.
Certainly does.
That's not much damage.
So hit, miss,
It
miss.
does enough.
Yep.
I think.
Wait, only two of them miss?
9 and a 16 are a miss.
Damn.
But the first one connects for 9 damage, and it had 7 health left, so you put it down. As just as Corwin's lifted off with his backflip, you see the exposed back end of the bullet looking directly at you, and you think, well, Scorching Ray right up the bunghole ought to do it. You let fly. The first one just goes straight up the center. The other two just impact around the side, just seemingly bouncing off its armored backside. But and you watch as the bullet just seems to freeze in place for almost a full second, and then smoke curls out its nostrils, and it just lays flat on the ground, not moving.
It's
Oh
just like
god,
frying
that cannot smell good.
And it is down.
Lovely. I'm gonna stay in bear for a little while just to make sure. Nick's already on the corpse.
Yep, she's running excitedly.
All right. What do you want to? How do you want to molest the corpse today?
Actually, I'm interested in the hide, not for myself, but for Finley's bear form to see if we can make an armor for his bear form. So I'd like to try and harvest decent segments of this hide.
That'd be nice. I'd like maybe a shoulder-mounted plating or something.
All right.
That might be kind of cool, actually. We can give you some kind of a shield of some kind that you can turn to your side and maybe get a defense bonus or something.
Yeah, maybe something on my back, depending on what I turn into, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
bear noises, bear noises, bear noises.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the thought. I'd like to try. I'm not trying to harvest every bit of it for sale or anything like that. I'm trying to harvest some usable sections just for Finley's armor, whatever it would need.
All right. The best and most awesome piece of armor you can see on it is the nice big head plate, which looks like it's just a ram made out of bone and flesh. So, yeah, you could probably start carving the head plate off the creature. I will need a strength check from you, however, as it is pretty well and truly on there and part of the skull.
Maybe I'll try.
Atlas, did you want to give me some of that juju help that you always offer? Guidance.
I do not have it. Can I take it as my cantrip for the 4th level?
Yeah, if you want to hurry and level up as you go, you can take it as your cantrip choice.
Yeah, I'll take guidance as my you can 1d4.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay, for a total
So
of
12?
12.
That's really good for you.
Yeah, you guys watch as Nick stands up on the back and just basically digs a finger in underneath the back towards the neck and just heaves and stops as the head plate hasn't budged an inch.
How about I give it a shot?
No. Come on, big guy. Give me a hand.
I'll reach on up, dig my claws into it.
Yeah, as the bear form Finley, who outweighs you about 20 to 1, and it's almost pure muscle form, just digs in with bear claws, and like he's just pulling bark off a tree, just rips the whole head plate off, and you can see that the inside of this creature doesn't look or smell any better than the outside. But you do get one large shield-sized plate section off the bullet. So,
Awesome.
Put it on my head.
So while they were doing that, I'm climbing up on this wagon. I got my crossbow out and I'm pointing it at that fucking pile of whatever that Jeffrey ran into.
Alright. Alright, so whoever wants to carry it can have the bullet head plate. But it
I'll
weighs
carry it.
30 pounds.
I can do that.
I could. I'm just talking to Fiddly, even though he's a bear. Oh, ooh,
I can drop bear.
No, it's fine. I have beast speech. What kind of speech?
Guys, remind me, level 10 chill touch.
Oh yeah. Okay, level 10 chill touch. Anyway, yes, I'm having a very eloquent conversation with Nyx.
Yeah. Fiddly, take good care of that. I'll try and craft you some armor that you can wear in your bear form later.
I like it. Though I ain't gonna stay bear for long, trust me. But might come in handy for some of my bigger tricks.
I'm just curious, does shapeshifting give you the ability to talk with an animal? Like, do you understand the language of said animal just by turning into it?
I assume so.
Yeah.
I mean, I no longer have the natural vocal range of a humanoid Maharim. I'm
Right.
forced to talk in bear, so
Well, no,
I-
your dialect's limited, but that doesn't mean that you understand another species suddenly.
well, I understand Nick. She's talking in bee speech, and I have a pretty respectable intelligence and wisdom
Yeah,
wisdom stat.
rules is written. Basically,
Mhm.
your ability to speak is limited by the capabilities of your beast form. I don't think it says anywhere
Ah.
you learn how to speak bear. But, yeah, for the sake of you still being able to communicate somewhat, I'll allow it. It's not so much you
Dang.
speaking as bear, you're speaking as a bear trying to speak English. And yeah, Nyx uses her magic to just kind of clear it up a bit, remove the static and the background noise, and understand what you're saying.
Lovely.
So yeah,
Y'all need to get some telepathy.
you're not speaking bear, you're just speaking drunk Irishman essentially.
Lovely. Well, I guess I'll drop bear then.
All right, and Corwin, you're up taking aim at the horse corpse, yeah?
Yep. I don't trust that damn sheep at all.
He's gonna pop out, and he's gonna be like a monster now.
No. So yeah, you guys watch as the like a scene from Aliens. The chest cavity was left to the horse seems to shift and move, and then kind of bloat a little bit, and then nice red coloured, honestly like a giant used tampon. Jeffrey pops out, all covered in blood and
Yeah.
gore, and then like a cat burying its turd, just seems to kick dirt behind it and attempt to bury the horse.
Jeffrey, look what we've got here. I'm going to talk to him. Does he seem less angry?
Yeah.
Jeffrey, how you feeling? You had a good meal?
And at this stage, Jeffrey is trying to bark at it as a reply, doing his best
Bark.
wolf or dog impression, and it's not making a lot of sense. But nothing Jeffrey does makes a lot of sense. But
I'm staring at it quizzically. It kind of sounds like one of my types. When we're pups, that is.
Well, so be it. Jeffrey's a Maharim now.
Ugh.
Alright.
Wash that filth that it's got. I'm gonna look for me wee barra. I'm gonna go find Siona.
And Jeffrey just takes a couple of steps back and then rushes forward and rams the corpse. Okay, I'll make you little again. That's a giant wolf. Yep.
Thank you.
Alright. So, yeah, you see Siona back up in the tree, holding a dagger to her chest, with a decent firm grip on it. But otherwise, you know, she's unharmed and just appreciative and says, wow, that was scary, Pa.
It was for a bit there, but no match for us. I'll reach my arms out so she can drop down from the tree.
Okay, no problem. And yeah, she drops down in your arms, and you put her back on the floor. What else do you guys want to do here?
I want to look for any tracks of any kind for whoever shot the arrows.
Okay, you can roll for survival.
We should find that man back at the road. Mayhaps he'll recognize those arrows.
Okay. Yeah, you have a look around, and apart from the older tracks about the place, the only fresh ones you can account for your group and the cart and horse. Whoever shot the arrows was either at a distance or he took those wounds earlier in the run.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I meant like I was doing a perimeter search. Would I have found it then, or still nothing?
No. Yeah, you can do a wide arch ahead and from behind. You don't detect any location that the archer may have shot from. So you deduce with your amazing intelligence that he was shot, and then the horse
What?
in its blind panic rushed it over to here. So he was shot before the whole ride to death occurred.
Right. Well, with that intelligence check, looks like, dear Watson, I deduce that the individual we spoke to has actually committed murder, and the bullet was preventing him from getting whatever he wanted out of that cart. Corwin, what you find in there? Anything of use?
I don't know. Let me take a look.
All right, perception check.
Very nice.
Okay, so with the area cleared a little bit from Finley's previous look through, you scrounge about, but with your smaller size, are able to get into the nooks and cranny, and around the corner of one of the barrels, which has been busted open, and small bolts of thread have spilled out. You find a rather ornate wooden box, about maybe half a foot long, couple inches wide, with a single hinged lid, and a rather solid but small looking lock on it.
I found this box that seems to be quite interesting looking. Looks like it's
locked?
Yeah, it's got a lock on it. I think I should give it a little jiggy. Give it a little jimmy.
You do the voodoo that you do.
I want to check it for traps before I open it.
Alright, roll another perception.
Spring-loaded bolt right into your forehead.
Yeah, you give it a look over, and you don't see any triggers, any latches, so you're pretty confident that it is trap-free.
Yep, I'll open it then.
Okay, you got thieves' tools, or you're just going to hit it with a hammer?
Yep, these tools. I'm a rogue.
Yep, it's a well-made lock, but not well-made enough, as you, with your deft, delicate hands, managed to pop it open. And inside...
Oh. Well, this thing's using last year's model of lock on it.
Haven't done regular updates. It's bad for security. So, inside, the first item that catches your eye is a carved wooden horse. Then there's 3 rather pristine cut gems, and the rest of it's just coinage. So, you can find 3 gems worth 50 gold each, and all the coinage added up is another 120 gold.
Is the horse worth anything?
A bit of jerky.
Oh, like it's horse meat? I thought it was like a horse
You
carving.
mean the carved wooden horse? No, it's
Yes.
It's pretty much on par with it's some dude whittled it out of a bit of stick with a short knife. It's not intricately carved. It's just the general horse shape. So you get the idea that it's not professional woodcarver gear. It's probably the guy with the arrows in his chest just did it.
Hey, little one, mind if I have that?
Yeah, go for it.
I thank you. Fancy myself a bit of a wood carver. Figuring I can do this thing a bit of justice.
So how are we splitting this stuff up here?
You found it. You figure it out. I want to get back to that man on the road. He's got some splaining to do.
Alright.
So he says 3 gems and 120 gold.
Yeah, 3 gems at 50 gold each, and 120 actual coinage.
Okay.
There's bolts of cloth, yes?
Oh yeah, there's probably dozens bolts of cloth
Hmm.
which have been scattered.
Yeah, we
about.
should take that.
I'm gonna. I really have no use for bolts of cloth, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna haphazardly cut. Do any of them look fancy?
Not the extreme end of fancy. You see, they all just seem to be, woven cotton as a base. The difference is in the colour and the patterns. There are some that have almost a tie-dye pattern to it, which probably fetch a higher price than the monotone white or grey.
Take that.
All right. Well, whatever one looks fanciest.
Yep.
I'm going to cut a big strip of it. I'm going to go up to Jeffrey and give him a cape.
Okay, so the blood-soaked sheep now has a tie-dyed hippie cape.
Awesome.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
There you go, Jeffrey. A cape fit for a king. And I'm talking to him in bee speech.
Alright, and you put it around, tie it in or not at the front. And for the next 5 minutes, Jeffrey just does anti-clockwise circles trying to bite the end of this cape, but missing just barely. And he occupies himself doing donuts.
Let's go find the guy.
Sure.
Hey,
Alright, so you head back to the fork in the road that led you down this path. And
I'll just slung the bullet headpiece over my back.
And you find the fork in the road empty. The dude
Yep.
is gone.
So that had it coming.
Maybe we can track him.
I think we might.
Do a powerful tracker.
Checking for tracks, Nix.
I'll try.
I'll
Yep.
sniff for the coward.
I'm going to have see if Tinsel can help me out with any sort of perception, so he can get an aerial view.
Alright, I'll let you do a perception check with Tinsel.
Perception or survival? It doesn't matter.
You can do a survival
one?
check yourself, or he can do a perception check. Damn.
Hey.
Alright, so you knew exactly where this fella started, so you go straight to the fallen tree at the corner, and you see that he was trying to be stealthy, but clearly wasn't, as he heads towards the bush, which is basically in the direction of the car in the cart, but he stayed off the road, going through the shrub, which oddly enough made it easier for you to track him. And eventually you catch up to him as he's back at the cart, looking about the place, rummaging through.
Alright. Am I hidden?
If you want to make a stealth check.
Yeah, I say we stealth up.
I'm going to stay a ways away and not bother stealthing, but also because I know I'll not be found. And once people start screaming, I'll move in.
I'll hunker down with Siona. And with Atlas.
Tinsel's invisible. Do you need him to make a stealth check as well?
Stealth check at advantage if you're invisible. Not bad. Alright.
Ta-da!
So, he doesn't appear to have seen you as Nyx and Corwin with the invisible presence. It's almost just a disturbance in the density of air behind you guys. yeah, he seems to be focused on his tasks, scrummaging around the place, and you see as bolts of cloth get hurled out the back of this upturned cart. But yeah, he certainly hasn't raised any alarm at your presence.
All right. Tinsel's going to be up 40 feet above him.
Mhm.
And he's going to shoot a bow at him.
Alright, you will need to get line of sight as he is inside the cart.
All right, whatever. He's staying high up enough that he can keep maximum height, but still get a shot.
Alright, so Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, if he gets a 5 or lower, he falls asleep.
Guess what he rolled?
Oh, God,
5.
please.
He rolled a 5.
Gosh.
Alright,
This stuff has got to go well early on, because when we get to high levels, that shit's never working.
yeah,
No, exactly.
with a DC of 10. Yeah, so you just send your invisible Tinsel, who just flutters up, gets a look into the cart, takes a bit of a backwards aim, and then punches him right in the bum. And you hear, for an instant, a short yelp, and then a thump, and then nothing
Awesome.
else.
All right, he's asleep for a minute. I'll just get... Who's with me?
Corwin.
Corwin.
All right, we got a minute. Let's go tie him up.
This isn't going to be
sounds like
another
fun.
frog situation, is it?
Oh, God.
Gosh. I don't know. He's obviously.
Well, I'm not Roth, so there you go.
No.
Go for frog.
Corn, he's asleep. What do you want to do?
I don't know. Why'd we put him to sleep?
Because he's a bad guy, obviously.
Well, if he's a bad guy, we should probably tie him up so he doesn't do bad things when he gets up, right?
All right. So, I'll go run over there and tie him up.
All right. Do you have?
I
any
like how
rope?
you're following the advice of someone with negative intelligence.
Any rope or manacles?
Actually, I have none of those.
I have rope.
I have lots of rope. I got 50 feet of rope.
All right. So Corwin, supplies the rope, and you guys tie him up.
Tinsel's back to being invisible.
Yep.
Actually, while he's asleep, Tinsel's going to try and do another heart sight. I want to see if this guy has a needle alignment or anything like that.
Okay.
If he fails.
Charisma saving throw. Being unconscious doesn't affect them at all. He rolls another 5. All right. So yeah, his current emotional state is asleep. He's not emotional in one way or the other at all. And the alignment does lean towards the chaotic evil side of things. He's exactly what you expect a highway bandit to do. He'll take what he can get, and that's his way of living. So yeah, he's leaning slightly towards the evil and slightly towards the chaotic side of neutral.
See? He's a bad guy.
I'll come out of the bushes now and bring and just kind of loom over him. And what do you got here? You catch yourself a wee rabbit.
Yeah, so Tinsel let me know his heart is full of vinegar, so I'm pretty sure he's the one who did this. Probably wasn't his friend at all, just someone that he robbed on the road, and the big creature whose head you have kept him from getting to his goods.
I'll glance over at Tinsel. It's like, hey, it's mighty good on you.
You can't see Tinsel.
Oh, right. Well, I'll sniff him out.
That's fine. Tinsel nods invisibly. Well, thank you. I appreciate the commendation. I do try and do my best.
Was that Tinsel?
That is Tinsel, yes.
So, Tinsel is the colonel from KFC Chicken.
Colonel Sanders?
I hadn't considered it, but
Yeah, he's
sure,
Colonel
I
Sanders.
suppose we could do that. Yeah, I can be
The
Colonel
Lando's
Sanders.
southern gent from about 108 years ago.
not entirely sure Tinsel can grow a beard, but if he can, I can guarantee you he will be dyeing it white.
Or he's Foghorn Leghorn.
Thou, mighty
Say,
fond of you there.
welcome, sir. Okay. So,
Is
yeah.
this fucker waking up?
Not yet. He's not. It hasn't been a minute. Unless you guys
I'll
want to
just
molest
lean
him.
down and just have my face fairly close to his, and I'll just be looking right into his eyes when he decides to wake up.
Do his boots look nice?
Well, they would have been new, but they've basically had the shit worn out of them. He's probably estimating that, yeah, it's a good few years of hard labour they've been put through, and they've still held up. So, you know, they're decent quality boots, but certainly
Sure.
nothing fancy.
All right. Well, the hunt is over. I caught the predator. It's really kind of boring me. She's saying this as she's taking off his boots. So I guess I'm kind of done. I'll let you all lot with civilization and laws and whatnot figure out how you want to handle him. She's going to tie the laces together. And I'm tossing it up into a tree.
I just want to talk to him.
Okay. So as you're there staring at his sleeping face, he starts to rattle and mumbles. Oh, what are you doing with that hammer? Yes, I'm a natural blue. And then wakes up and looks directly at you and goes, "Oh, holy sh!" Oh.
I'll just give him a big old wolfy smile. You sleep well, precious.
What have you done to me? What's going on? What are you doing here?
She's just mighty upset about your friend there being all dead and whatnot. Figured you'd rummage in through his crap before you feel like mourning him.
Well, you know, we weren't that close. Just more business partners, yeah.
Hey. So, mind telling me where the 2 arrows in his chest came from? 'Cause pretty sure that fancy beastie over there that we caved in can't use one.
Well, now, I wouldn't go make an assumption about folk. You know, that'd be rude.
Hey, be rude to think I'm an idiot too.
I'm going to hurl a firebolt into the woods and then look at him and go, "You want to try a line to us again?"
All right.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, you want to start a forest fire?
Atlas means business.
Alright.
Dude, don't fuck around.
So who wants to roll for intimidation on that? Yep, there we go.
I'm proficient in that!
You were.
Not. Yeah.
+7!
Yeah, and I'm double proficient in stealth, and I still roll 5s.
Alright. So yeah,
Fucking shank.
you just aim out randomly out in the scrub and let loose a small bolt of fire and stage your piece, and then just off in the distance you hear whoop as a nearby pigeon just seems to immolate in fire that you weren't even aiming for, and the sound of the exploding bird just seems to cut the mood a little bit with a humour, and
I can't help but laugh a little bit.
and yeah, the dude just looks to you and turns back to Finley and goes, "Right, well, let's stop the bullshit. You caught me out.
Hey,
So what's the plan from here?"
so's me thinks you's a murderer. I don't like those. Wanna know what we do to murderers where I'm from?
Let me guess. You eat 'em?
Nah, we don't eat them. We let our pets do that. Not before we make them tired first. So's, here's what I'm gonna do. Does he have weapons on him? I'm gonna take those.
Yeah, bow and arrow. That's just kind of fallen behind some of the bolts of cloth when when he nosedived into sleep.
Okay, taking those off. I'm taking his boots off.
Oh, his boots are long gone. They're up in a tree.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Okay. I'm taking whatever armor, any clothes he's got on, except for his skivvies.
Alright, do you strip him of your standard leather armor and common underclothes?
Okay. I pull him up onto his feet. I give him a little bit of a shove. And then I just crouch down like I'm about to run into full sprint. And then I tell him, start running.
So he's standing there, butt-ass naked. He,
5, 4,
turns to Nix,
3,
gives her a wink and says,
2,
like what you see?
1.
Start
I'm
running.
fucking grabbing him!
Alright, so you're chasing him down?
I'm loping on all fours like a beast, and I'm running after him.
Alright, you'll easily catch him.
I know.
He's, running health leather, barefoot, tackle swinging in the breeze. What do you want to do when get to him?
I'm just going to have him keep running, and I'm just going to nip at him while he's running.
Alright, and how long do you want to continue this?
Let's see, until his feet are bloody.
That's not going to take long. He's not wearing boots.
Exactly.
And this is a pretty dense forest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that doesn't...
Honestly, I would say just march him to Eincourt.
all the way?
I'm pretty much chasing him to Eincourt.
Alright, that'll take you a few days, but...
And just until he collapses or until he pretty much rips himself to ribbons running through the forest naked.
Alright.
And we just leave him in the middle of the woods to his own devices.
Exactly.
So he, just bolts straight down the road, and you corral him like you're herding sheep, and just try and push him off the road into the dense scrub. And after a while, he's running through, and the rest of you you see him disappear, and then 5 minutes go by, 10, 15, and you can't even hear the sounds of him anymore. And eventually he just runs himself to exhaustion, trips and falls on a root, and tumbles down, scraping up the side of his arm. And he's just there on his back, panting, and goes, "No more. No more."
Hey, you're not fun anymore. I'll just look down on him, and then I'll rise up, and I'll give a really big howl. And that howl is going to signal that there's food nearby.
Okay, performance check.
Okay. Let's see, where is performance? The hell are you? There we go.
Yep, that's a pretty good howl. So after about 20 minutes or so, the rest of you guys just hear the faint echo of a howl off in the distance. And is there anything else you want to do to the poor fella, Mongrel?
While Fiddly is doing all this, does anyone in the party care enough about Siona to go get her and bring her along?
I assumed you guys were going to watch her while I was away.
I don't know. I mean,
You know what they say about assuming.
Indeed. Okay, I'll just make it a mark to always say, "Watch her, please."
Okay.
I'll make sure she doesn't wander off.
Thank you, Atlas.
I figured that'd be Atlas's deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just gonna look down, give him a grin, and then I'm just gonna walk home or walk back towards the group.
Okay. So.
And I'm leaving him still tied up.
That's Corwood's rope.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
assume
at
he
least...
didn't use all 50 feet. I have rope for him anyway.
Okay.
Alright. So, naked, exhausted, lacerated by countless bits of tree and vegetation.
Yep. And
course,
I just rang the dinner bell.
No, okay. So, yeah. That probably would have been nicer of you just to stab him in the heart, but...
But he went and decided he needed to kill a man for it.
Okay. So
I'm giving him a chance.
I think I might shift you a little bit towards the evil alignment for those actions, but
Really?
yeah, you know.
Well, I'm neutral good.
You were. All right, so you've made your point. That dude is definitely not gonna fuck with anyone ever again, because
Good.
the chances that
Glad he
he'll survive
learned his
the night
lesson.
is education to a dead man. All right, but you've had your fun, made your peace, and you guys meet up back at the fork in the road where you originally met him. On him, you stripped him down. You can find the standard leather armor and a full 17 gold pieces out of the purse that you took off him. Nothing else of interest besides his bow and quiver of arrows, which is just a standard longbow.
You can have it. I don't want nothing with it. I'll just look back to the torn apart man with the 2 bolts in his chest. He was just a man trying in the world. Some folk decided to take that from him. So I took from him. Well, technically I didn't do nothing. It's the woods' problem now.
So Finley's rationalization of his actions is a little disturbing, but yeah. So you guys just
nature finds a way. It's the great equalizer.
I thought that was
my nature. My nature is that I could run a lot faster than he could.
Don't forget that, Sienna, the next time you don't want to eat your broccoli.
Oh, she's the one who floored me in one punch.
She does not remember that.
Hey, you was in your sleep, love. You were tossing about something fierce and knocked me right in the jaw.
Alright, make a deception check. Alright. You think that's pretty convincing? Yeah, you're thinking on your feet. That's that'll cover it. That makes a lot of sense. Don't worry about it. Alright.
Yeah.
So, just continuing on to Eincourt now?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, no problem. Let's see, it's probably another 2 days or so march. So, yeah, close to 4 days on the road. The rest of it's pretty uneventful. You meander along.
How do we deal? Sorry, how do we deal with short rest, long rest when traveling?
Yeah, generally, unless specified, you have a short rest every day. So you guys can take your short rest in the travel. Yeah, I mean, you don't walk continuously. You do stop by and make camp, and unless I decide to do otherwise, it's just happens. If I ask you to make deception checks, then it means something's happened. But you can't long rest during travel, because
that makes sense.
Yeah, you're doing more than an hours of strenuous activity, such as traveling. Then it kind of breaks up the long rest. But yeah, you can definitely take your short rest as much at least 3 times, if you so choose, during the trip. So I don't think anyone actually took any actual damage during that fight. So
yeah, that thing went down hard.
No, but it's like for the spellcasters that are on the long rest, refresh for their slots.
Short rest every day, unless otherwise said. So,
Fully.
3 days of marching. Do you guys want to make any checks for herbs or anything like that during your trip?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Now I'll search around.
Alright.
Guess we're all looking.
Yeah, so 3 of you guys want to check for herbs. 3 of you guys can...
Corwin, watch. Actually, Siona, would you like to help me find some plants?
Yeah, she gives a nod and is eager to do something other than walking, so I will let you make your nature or survival roll with advantage. Atlas
Lovely.
and Nyx, survival or nature roll just straight.
Can I help Nyx and give her advantage?
If you want.
How many are we doing?
Just the one. You're just spreading it out against everyone.
Nice.
Alright, so I will give 1 to Finn for that and 2 to Nyx for that.
All right, I got the satchel open, guys. I'll handle it.
Yep, I'll just
in the forest?
put it right in the satchel for you.
Yep, still in the forest. So Finn, Nix, and Nix.
Ooh, that 9 is super rare, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, an 8 and a 9.
The second rarest.
Ooh.
And
Then we got 3 of them.
Yeah, but we don't have the kit to utilize it yet, but
We'll get there.
well, yeah,
Einkort's just about the peaks.
the higher number stuff might have more powerful effects or just more effects, up to 4 per ingredient. So it might just be a lot of stuff on one ingredient. But yeah, that's not bad, getting 8s and 9s.
2 of 8, 3 of 4, 3 of 9.
Okay. Right, and you guys travel into Aincourt, no problem. And you start seeing a bit more heavy traffic as you start getting closer, as there's more people about on the road. You see a couple of guardsmen who don't give you any concern, just marching about on their own patrols, some of them mounted, some of them just banded together on foot. But you're starting to get the idea that this is a big, bustling city, and eventually the road is congested with carts and people, and your forward travel seems to grind to a halt within view of the city walls. And suddenly you're surrounded by people and horses. What do you want to do?
I'll hold on to Siona's hand. Just stay with me, lovely.
And yeah, you get the impression that this is more people and animals than Siona has ever seen in life, probably has ever thought even existed, and she's just staring about in wide-eyed wonder, with a decent amount of fear and apprehension of being essentially thrown into such a strange occurrence. And she's pretty well
I'll look
crowded
down at her.
by horse flesh. You can't. It's basically just people, carts, and horse butt, whichever direction she looks.
Think I'll just lift her up and put her on my shoulders then instead.
No. Yeah, she calms down noticeably, getting a proper view, and now seeing the situation for what it is. And she gives you a tap and points over towards the gate and says, "It looks like they're checking people before letting them through."
Hey, good eye, lass. Wonder what they're looking for.
Nothing else from the rest of the group? Okay. So you spend the better part of the rest of the afternoon, and the sun's going down, and we're getting close to nightfall by the time you guys progress up to the front of the line. And you can see an array of guards there, and they're basically just going through the list. Who are you? Why are you here? Checking your gear, and they come up to you, checkboard in hand, quill, piece of paper, and say, "Rightio, mate. You as a group?"
Yep.
Alright, state your names.
Alice Wither.
Corwin Sealeaf.
I be friendly. This here's me, Siona. That's Fionnnlagh.
Fionnnly. Yep, Finley.
Aye. Sod it.
And this other one?
Nix.
Nicks. Nix. Gotcha. Alright. What business do you have in Ironcourt?
I'm just gonna look at everyone else.
I mean, we just kind of felt like it.
I came to see the library. I heard you had quite a magnificent one here.
Hey, me too, actually.
Yeah, we're here on business.
Actually, yeah, we're looking for the Iron Company. Are you familiar?
Just gives a shake of his head and says, "No, I'm not ringing any bells, but yeah, don't know everyone in town. It's a big place. So I'll put you down as business, and maybe a touch of tourism, yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, sounds fair.
Alright, last part's credit check. You guys got more than enough money to cover your stay here? We don't just let people come in and be bums on the street.
Hey, everybody! This city discriminates against the poor.
You want to start that?
No.
Alright. Now, yes. Right, so, let's say 10 gold ought to cover it and assure us that you're capable of providing for yourself during your time here.
Atlas will
Okay.
show him 10 gold.
Show
Is
him.
it 10 gold each?
I was going to pay it, but all right.
Alright,
Now we're not paying them this, right? It's just we're showing them this.
if that's your interpretation of the request.
I'll just go ahead and hand them the 10 golds.
So he pockets a 10 gold off Corwin and says, "Right, fellas, you're clear to go through. Mind yourselves. I don't want to see you again, or I'll put you in the stockades and be sure to stay clear of the other businessmen and such. There's a bit of a ball happening here later on, so some of the fancy upstarts might be wandering the streets. So, well, keep your nose clean."
Ooh.
Ooh, so scary.
Aye, I'm trembling.
Okay. And yeah, you guys can enter the city.
Hooray!
What do you guys
We're gonna
do?
crash that party, right?
Yeah.
Party.
Adrian, Atlas certainly could get us in.
Hey, you got some clout, do you?
A little bit.
Well, Deswe gets us a place to settle down and then we take a look at his library, eh?
Okay, looking for a tavern?
Place to... just place to stage where we're gonna be going.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
No problem. So, yeah, just roll a perception check to look for a tavern.
Okay. Do. Ba-da-ba-da.
Right. 16's not bad. You look about the place and, yeah. Aincourt's got a bit of everything. You spy houses and buildings and shop fronts, and you just almost unconsciously walk straight into the middle of what looks to be a full setup on Market District, and there are
Oops.
taverns by the plenty. You see, within eye shot of where you're standing, perhaps 5 or 6, with their signs hanging out. So it just depends on which sort of level of comfort you're looking for. Most of them all seem to be rather high end and a bit beyond what you're kind of used to, being somewhat of a fringe on the road type. And you get the feeling that you've stepped into fancy pants land.
Ooh, fancy pants. I'll look up to Siona on my shoulders. Go ahead.
How much will the really fancy inn cost for a night and food?
The really fancy, 10 gold. As a minimum.
10 gold for a night?
Per night, yep.
Not worth it.
No. Atlas has rich blood, but no, he's not that rich. Next best one?
4.
Next best one?
2.
This is Atlas going from tavern to tavern
Yeah,
and
Atlas
just
or
walking out.
just comes back and just shakes his head and goes, nah, those fuckers are a rip-off, and moves down to the next one. And you're eventually just,
2 gold.
yeah, 2 gold for the comfortable stuff. You're just basically working your way down the street. The further away you get from the markets, the less opulent the tavern seems to be, the less people are about the place, and the cheaper the stays.
2 gold for comfortable is fine by him.
Okay. So,
Hey, I'll take it. They got a bath.
yeah, I mean, it's 2 gold, you get a private room, it's a nice inn, there's a big open area, a stone fireplace, meal's decent. You can see, it's basically just the middle class setup where people come to stay. You see a lot of business folk about the place. Some of them are dressed in decent finery, but no one's excessively opulent with gold chains or anything that you spied as you were checking out the other taverns. So,
Works for me.
Guys, what do we hope to accomplish by staying here?
See, we can find and maybe do a bit of research. That last beastie nearly handed us our ass back in Nosto. I say we do a bit of raiding before we decide to tackle another.
Yeah, I mean, this tavern. Why are we staying at this tavern?
Why not?
I don't know if we have anything to gain by it.
You got a better idea.
I heard stories that there are certain taverns in towns like these, a bit more rough and tumble, but they're connected to the underground. They might have something interesting.
I glance up on the very small child on my shoulders. It's like, you want to go somewhere like that?
Are you asking Siona?
Yes, I'm asking Siona. It's like, you want to go somewhere like that?
And she's just looking about, a bit wide-eyed and childish wonder for a 6-year-old, and she just is almost giddy with excitement and says, "I want to go to the fancy place. I want to see the fancy stuff."
Now I look back down at Nyx with a big old smug smile. It's like, well, guess what we're doing?
The 10 Golden Night place.
She's staring at you, waiting for you to finish your sentence.
Tell you what, you find your underbelly little place. I'm gonna take Siona out to the shops, see her, find her some fancy things to look at. So what you humans like to do, don't you, Atlas? Fancy shiny things.
Oh yes, we humans do indeed like our shiny stuff. And make a point, he exaggeratedly looks at something shiny and just goes slack-jawed. Just for Siona's sake.
Hey, see, I knew it. I'm getting good at this human thing.
Alright, so you're going to fancy it up? Give Siona a taste of the lifestyle?
Exactly.
Alright, well you can find
I'm going to stick with Corwin.
Okay, so 10 gold per person. Siona's not going to run you any extra. I'll just say, she's your barra, you keep her in your room. So 10 gold per person who wants to go the fancy shit and experience the fine wines and the roasted meats and the pheasant's tongue and all that bullshit that comes with the fanciest stay in one of the fancy places.
I'll stay one day at the fancy place. Why not? Just give Siona a bit of a treat. She's been through a lot of shit.
Alright. So yeah, you basically put down the 10 gold for your night's stay. Everyone else staying at the comfortable place is a 2 gold, or what's Nick's planning on doing? Just running off to a tree somewhere?
It's usually the plan. Smarty Pants, where are you going? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm gonna, stay middle of the road there. Try not to attract too much attention one way or the other.
If you're standing in the middle of the road, you're going to attract attention sooner or later.
Yeah.
Nyx has green hair and glowing green eyes. I feel she attracts attention.
Yeah, what happened to you?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that, but as long as you've known Nyx, she's had green hair and green eyes.
Okay, I thought you were a redhead, but my mistake.
Yeah, I had the wrong color.
All right. I don't know. As far as I know, elves can change their hair anytime they want.
Yep. All right.
I think it's a seasonal thing.
I'm gonna keep up with Corwin then. He seems to know what he's doing. So if that's what you suggest, I'll just I'll hunker down with you.
All right then.
All right. So yeah, 2 gold from everyone else for the night. And as you basically book your rooms and head back out to meet up, you hear this bustle in the crowd. Starts off a bit low, and then it gets to rather high levels of shouting, and suddenly you guys are kind of cut in half with Siona and Finn on one side and the rest of you on the other, as this mob just basically starts a lot of yelling and shoving matches in the middle of the street.
Put Siona back up onto my shoulders. Hey, what you see, love? What's happening?
Alrighty, and she sees... Yeah. She sees a group of people seem to be wearing different colours. She says, there's some fellas in blue and some fellas in red, and they seem to be arguing. Can't make it out.
Hey, let's go see.
And quickly enough, you see the guardsmen rush past you, and they start breaking people off, cracking skulls, and as they pull people away, you guys start to get a sight of what looks like a couple of armoured fellas in blue and a couple of armoured fellas in red have now drawn swords, and these are great swords, and they're just going at it between each other, 2 on 2.
Can I get close enough to see this happen?
Yeah, once the guards start pulling away the crowd and dispersing them a little bit, you guys can then weave in the group and check it out.
Alright.
Are they saying anything? Have they stated who they are?
If you
Or are
want
they just going? They're just going straight to blows.
yeah, you can.
Can I roll a straight intelligence check to figure out who these people are?
Okay, a straight.
Or maybe a history check?
Yeah, a history check from you if you want to figure it out, and a perception check with advantage from you, Finn, if you want to see if you can hear anything from them.
The guards look like they're trying to break it up?
No, they've dispersed the crowd and have not intervened directly in the combat. Alright, so...
Oh.
They're just letting them go at it.
Yeah, they're...
Gotcha.
They're not quite as armed or armoured as the people fighting. And you can just tell by the armour that these guys are wearing that these are wealthy individuals. These are either nobles born or retainers of noble family, because they've got the shiny fucking shit that wouldn't look out of place during a parade. All right.
Just a quick question: does it look like they would break it up if they could, or are they legitimately just nothing to see here? They don't care.
Roll an insight.
So much for that.
Yeah, honestly, it looks like they're just keeping the crowd away, like security of the concert, essentially. The majority of them aren't even looking at the combatants. They're looking back towards the crowd and just arms open wide, just saying, "Move along, nothing to see." So either this is such a common occurrence that they've just stopped bothering, or it's something they can't intervene with. And
at this point, Nix is just going to assume this is what happens in towns.
Yeah, random entertainment in the streets. Okay, so we'll start off with Finn. You hear basically they're yelling slurs at each other. You hear some of the ones in blue yell out about the filthy Ducotes and their scum family should be driven out of Aincourt, and the Reds reply going on about the Thorns, their low-life scum upstarts, and will be put to the torch. And they're just basically...
Montague and Capulet, gotcha.
Yeah, the Thorns and the Ducotes just yelling insults about family names to each other. Cajun, with your history check, yeah, there's noble families in these big cities. They're basically... Nobles tend to keep an area of land, or they're wealthy nobles that inhabit cities, and Aincourt has a few of them, and two of them, the Thorns and the Ducotes, are notorious for not getting along, and there's just been a running family versus family feud probably since the time Mercia was founded. And yeah, this is like the prime example of family feuds that is written in the history books and textbooks. So it's not surprising they've come to blows in the street.
All right.
Anything you guys want to do?
I'm gonna watch it play out.
Yep, Nix is cheering at this point.
All right. Anyone placing bets? Yeah. So eventually they start hammering in, and the strikes are meant to kill. They're quite powerful and overhanded, but the armor's just.
When it starts getting too violent, I'm gonna take Siona away.
And then as they're just going at it and just hammering into each other, you see a guardsman just bust through out of the crowd, and this guy's maybe half a foot taller than the rest of the guardsmen. Face is black as obsidian, clean shaven, and he just yells out in a voice, says, "Alright, stop this bloody shit right here!" And just marches up, and suddenly the guardsmen are pulled into action as they move up into a group, and you watch as this big guy just fucking backhands with a complete unarmored fist, just backhands one of the armored fellas straight across the helm, and you can hear the ding like a fellow was hitting a bell with a hammer, and he staggers over and falls down, and the big guy just starts pulling them apart as the rest of the guardsmen come up to assist him. He goes, "I've had just about enough of this bullshit between your families."
I'm gonna cover Siona's ears.
And it's gonna stop. If anyone starts this bullshit in the streets again, it's under pain of death. You will keep the peace, or you and your entire family will be out of here on your ear. And then he goes around picking up the greatswords that the fellas were using, and just hands them off to the guardsmen, and then walks off. And cowed by his presence and the intervention, the rivaling combatants just seem to disperse back into the crowd.
I'll start clapping. That was fucking beautiful.
Encore.
How'd you do that with your bare hands? I mean, granted, I have my own bare hands, but not like that.
Yeah, but they're bare hands, not bare hands. Sounds the same, but the spelling's different. Okay, so you're going up to the guardsman who started punching stones?
If he'll let me approach.
Right. And this guy is, he's probably the biggest, tallest person that you've ever seen. Someone that you don't have to lean down to meet eye level with. So yeah, he's a good 6'8", perhaps, in height. And he goes, getting damn sick of it, and he's there holding his hand that he punched the dude with, just giving it a rub. Probably would have hurt more without the helmet on, those thick-headed bastards.
Heard them whispering there's Thorns and Decoats. What's their story?
It's these two bloody families. Haven't gotten along since the start of things, but it's just gotten worse and worse after that brawl that killed one of them. They've been starting fights in the street for the past month now, and I've just about had enough.
Any people getting hurt from it, aside from the thick heads?
A couple of injuries and passers-by and such. Just getting hurt, and the crusher folks trying to get clear, and the odd errant sword string, but it's too much. Next brawl starts, everyone involved's been put on the fucking noose.
It's a bit of bad blood there between them, eh? Can't say I blames them, I got a few of that back home. But, hey, what are me manners? I'm Finlay. This here's Siona.
Finlay, ma'am, gives a nod and extends his hand and says, Captain Thaddeus Flint.
Thaddeus, ye's as wonderful with words as ye is with your fists.
Appreciate it. So, you fellas new in town?
I just arrived. Looking for me, where the bloody hell? Where is everybody? We got lost in the crowds.
Oh, right below you.
Oh, there are we, man.
Alright.
Hey, gotta be a little bit cautious around here. People trample you.
You want on me shoulders with the lass?
What were the names of the families again?
Thorns, Thorens, and
I spelled that wrong.
and the Dakotes, Ducotes.
Spelled that wrong too.
Just a quick question. Which one of the two is the stronger?
You're asking Thaddeus?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be such an issue if one was stronger than the other, but they're pretty much on par in both influence, income, and military. That's why it's such a shit show. They both think they're the better one.
Alright. I'm just out of curiosity. I'm going to telepathically communicate with Tinsel. Tinsel, just out of curiosity, maybe follow one of those Vedos. See where they go. See what they do. We'll talk later tonight.
Okay, perception check from Tinkerbell. Right. Okay. So Thaddeus goes. Right. So yeah. Try and steer clear of those lots and keep the peace. If you're in town and looking for work, check the boards. But otherwise, I hope this is the last time I see you.
Well, that's not very nice.
Captain Flint, was it?
Aye.
Between these Thorns and Dakotes, what happened to be the reason for their confrontation?
You mean today or the start of this whole thing?
No, the original one, yes.
Fucked if I know. Fucked if any of them knows. So I'm pretty sure not even they remember anymore. It's been going on for fucking generations.
Alright then.
I got work to do, and no doubt gonna cop an earful for what's happening here today. So you guys be on your merry way and keep your nose clean. And then he turns and wanders off.
Nix is going to turn to Corin. They keep saying that. Is there something on my face? That's it. Just a cheap dad pun.
Yes. Sorry, an attempt at a dad pun. So yeah, Tinsel manages to isolate the two knights in blue, who wander off and follows them, and they eventually just lead to the edges of town and to a big estate, and Tinsel just basically sees them pass through the doors of what is an opulent house by opulent house standards. It's pretty clear to even Tinsel that some fancy pants money individuals live there. The rest of you guys, what do you want to do?
This is the Blue family. Do we know what those names are?
The Blue, yeah, you're just not quite... Oh, you would have heard the Blues are the ones shouting about the evil and useless Dakotes, so you're pretty sure...
Okay, so they're the Thorens.
About themselves. So blue for Thorens, red for Dakotes.
Good.
Yeah, which ones were talking about the foreigners, or the ones that seemed to... Which one are the ones that were foreign, let's say?
Foreign? Neither.
I'm sorry. Never mind. I heard that must be Thorens. Never
Yeah,
mind.
Thorens, yeah.
Thorens, not foreigners, yeah.
With a
Got
TH.
So, excuse my apparent Australian accent. It does mangle a few words. So,
It's alright.
what do you guys want to do?
So it seems pretty obvious. We burned down both houses. They all go home.
Nixie.
If we burn down their houses, they can't go home.
But they'll find new homes.
Nixie,
Let's
we're
do
not
it
getting
again.
into any of these squabbles.
I'm sure
stuck.
of it.
I'm
I'm
stuck
sure
between
that-
my original goal of attending the arena here and this new goal of wanting to watch the shit show and attending the ball.
If you can get us into the ball, that'd be lovely. Other than that, I'll have Siona here point out what she'd like to look at. And then I say we do what Thaddeus there suggested. We take a look at that board.
Alright, I'll see if I can't use my connections to get us into the ball.
Aye, that'd be fun. Dancing, food, schmoozing.
We'll all need a fancy clothing at the very least.
No.
I have no idea what's going on with the sound, so to avoid accidentally leaving it on, because I can't hear it, I'm just going to avoid the music
That's all right.
for the time being. Otherwise, I'll just insult 15 different things. Although, yeah, I'll get to that afterwards. So you're going to make attempts to get an invite to this mass bowl that's being hosted. Yep.
Yeah. Like
Alright.
for the entire party. I want to watch this shit show.
Yep. Any idea on your part on how to do that?
I'm not sure really.
Says you can secure an audience with a local noble if you need to. Maybe seek out a local.
Yeah.
See if you have a little bit of pull with a name like Wither.
Yeah, I'll head to the local court and see about an invitation and see if I'd be welcome in the ball.
Okay, basically you head to the nearest official-looking building, and outside of it you see the usual community notice board, and just haphazardly plastered over whatever that was there underneath. You see, it's basically an employment list with fancy paper and gold filigree fucking writing and all this bullshit fancy shit. You see people they're asking for, suppliers and servants and stuff. The one that catches your eye is a intricate piece of paper asking for some nifty dishes to stand out in the bowl, such as roast owlbear, and the need for hunters to secure these items. And written underneath it says 300 gold reward. See the Dakota's family.
Okay, I believe we have ourselves a job.
I think we do. What the rest do you think?
Listen, I think if we do this, that we do it Clint Eastwood style and play both houses against each other.
Who the fuck is Clint Eastwood?
It's a pixie I know back in the Feywild. It's the whole thing.
I've always wanted to go there. Heard lots of fancy things about it.
This has Fistful of Dollars written all over it, and I love it.
It does, and I do too. I love that movie.
We have to play both families against each other for our own profit.
You do that.
I'd rather just sell to the Ducotes.
We can make a lot of money here. They both are very wealthy families.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that movie. Okay.
Me too. I'm gonna look up to Sienna. What do you think?
I'd very much love to go to the ball and be fancy.
You'd be the prettiest lass on the floor, love.
I'm right here.
So,
yeah,
I'm
pretty sure Sion would be the prettiest one on the ball.
All right. Well, do a bit.
Real quick, where's Jeffrey?
Please tell me we lost him.
Please tell me we didn't lose him.
Okay.
I'd rather he be in my sight.
Does anyone want to roll a perception check for Jeffrey?
You do it, Nix. He's your abomination. Lovely.
He's a free individual, and he can live life the way he wants to.
Until he gets his whole fucking throat out.
In the party.
Yeah. So
I just kind of around in the street because this is a nice gig we found.
So you guys look around, and that damn crusty sheep of yours is nowhere to be seen. It seems to have wandered off at some point, perhaps disappearing amongst the crowd, but he's no longer within sight.
I'm sure it's fine.
Once we hear an ear-shattering scream from someone, I'm sure we'll find them. Well, I says we gets us that owlbear.
Yep. Were there any other monsters mentioned, or was it just the owlbear?
Currently, they're just, as an example, the owlbear.
Oh, so we can bring back any monster.
Well, it basically just goes over that they're looking for fancy, interesting,
Exotic
and
meat.
exotic things, such as owlbear, 300 gold reward. So,
Shit, we could have carved up that bullet.
yeah, you're not sure about the culinary compatibility of certain monsters. So you might, I don't know, if you go hunting chort, it might turn out that chort meat tastes like fucking licorice or something, and they don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I don't know. There are some people out there that like licorice.
Yeah, I don't know if
Owlbears
they
ain't exactly. Owlbears ain't exactly the friendliest animals, that's for sure. But they might taste a fine bit. Wild-born, steady diet of whatever the fuck decided to get in its way.
We should get a wagon to haul the carcasses with us.
Yeah, they're rather big. Yeah. What am I doing with this bullet hide? I guess I'll put that back in my room so I'm not carrying it with me all over the place.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I'll just drop that off real quick.
It's like 25 gold for a wagon and 8 for a mule, right?
If you're buying them.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of some fancy room with like a rotting
Yeah.
skull in it right now.
Well,
It's not rotting. I cleaned it off.
part
Kinda.
of the skull that a wolf
Yeah.
just left there. Yeah. I mean, it's not something you see at 5-star hotels that often.
Typically.
You might want to leave a note so the cleaning lady doesn't take it.
Yeah, please don't touch. I'll write a note.
I'll
like
buy a
mine,
mule
no touch.
wagon for a us.
Okay, you want to buy a mule and a wagon. Gotcha. Yep, you know the prices. That's no problem. Yeah, closer to the outskirts of Aincourt, you can find whatever you bloody well want in here. And horse and mule and cart is yeah. You could throw a rock and wherever it landed, you'd be within earshot of someone selling a mule and cart.
Actually, probably be better to buy an ox instead of a mule.
Okay. Ollie and the wagon.
Yeah.
Hey,
So we're back to that.
not a new way. Yes, we are.
Alright, so yeah, you can have an ox and a cart to go with it if you guys want. However, after you've bought it, it will be a stabling fee of 1 silver per day that you keep him in town.
All
Hey,
right.
that ain't much.
I mean, we are heading out pretty quickly, though, aren't we?
Hey, and then we'll park him once we're at the bowl.
So what are we doing, gents?
We're hunting,
Bagging us
aren't
a bear.
We're hunting a bear?
A hootin' one, eh?
we? An owl
Right.
bear.
Think of it as a bear.
It's a bear
What's-
owl.
Aye. Nixie, you keep this up. I'm strapping you to a tree.
Try
How late
me,
is it
man.
right now?
Yeah, it's evening. You're probably looking at about the 6:30 to 7 mark.
Think we should go first thing in the morning?
Alright. So, I don't suppose any of you have experience in hunting owlbears?
I was going,
In character, I don't, but as a video game player, I do.
I don't think
know if
any of
you're-
us have experience hunting anything.
Excuse, talk for yourself.
I think you just
I'm,
offended Nix.
I'm part of the Druidic Order. Have I ever witnessed or seen or experienced owlbears before?
You'd be familiar with the idea of them. If you want to roll an intelligence check, we'll see what
Sure.
you can remember. We'll figure out.
Just
about
straight
it.
intelligence?
Just a straight intelligence check.
Okay.
Just from my background as a hunter in the Elven Forest, are owl bears known to be in Mirandel?
I would think so.
Owlbears aren't specifically limited. They are a forest creature. So,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, owlbears aren't all that common, Finley. But you are familiar with owls and bears. So you think the combination of the two can't be too different. And you just basically...
Wonder if I could turn into one.
Eventually, I think you could.
Cool.
As a Circle of the Moon droid. And, yeah, they are ferocious bear-like creatures that are nocturnal, hunt at night.
I suggest we take them out in the morning.
Lieutenant Corwin, didn't you want to go to the library?
Yeah, it's what I was just waiting for you guys to get done
Alright.
doing your
You
discussions.
see, you all have to listen to Corwin here, and she puts her hand on his shoulder.
I was
He
hoping to,
is the brains of the group. He knows what he's talking about.
When is the ball anyway?
thank you, Nix.
You want to ask for a date?
Yeah, I'll ask for a date.
Alright, you check around. It's basically 3 days hence.
3 days
Plenty of
hence?
time.
That's a fortnight! We need to hurry!
So yes, you've got this night and 2 others. And then it's that night after.
So, around about what time does the library usually close?
I think you're just asking a random passerby.
Mm-hmm. Maybe one with glasses.
Alright, roll for perception.
Profiling.
Yeah, roll a perception check for stereotyping. Alright, you find one with glasses, and they are big, thick glasses, taped up in the centre. And he goes, "What do you mean, close? Shit's never closed around here. They just turn the lanterns on and keep going."
Nerds go hard in this place.
Yeah, ham.
Wonderful then. Well, which way is the library, by the way?
The nod basically just points to the centre of town where the taller and more opulent-looking buildings are, and says, "Yep, hard to miss. Just head down that way."
Yeah, spectacular, thank you.
Alright, so you can find the library. What do you want to do at the library?
I would like to find some sort of Bible on monsters and beastries and whatnot.
Okay,
Yeah,
some reference
encyclopedia.
material. That's a
Yes,
perfect
indeed.
idea if you guys are going to continue down the path of killing Albaz.
Absolutely.
Actually, can we buy some of these books so we can get advantage in survival rolls when it comes to trying to track these things down?
Might be a good idea. I got a bit of money if we need it.
Okay, so you head to the library. I will... who's going with?
I'll go, and I'll take Siona.
So
I think we're all
everybody-
going, aren't we?
Atlas?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll specifically research owlbear.
Alright. So you guys head in there and, yeah, it's exactly what you'd expect of a library. Bit more hustle and bustle as there are plenty more people here. It's not quite the grand library of Sanguine or anything like that, but it is a pretty good setup just off a small, let's say, academically inclined market district. Where outside the library you see a couple of magic potion sellers, a couple of magic item sellers, booksellers, tomes, spells, all the more educational and intellectual side of marketry. And yeah, if you guys want to head in, you meet a rather large woman, we'll say, wearing glasses of her own to keep with the stereotype, horn rimmed, flaring out the side. Not quite Dame Edna level, but definitely more opulent and excessive than the glasses need to be for function. And yeah, she's a rather large beast woman, and screeches out as you guys enter. And, "Quiet in the library! What is your business here?"
Yes, I'd like to get a book on sort of just the overall beastries, a beastries Bible, monsters, whatnot.
Beast terms in section B, second left, right to the end, alright, and look in.
So left to the end, right, correct?
Second left, right to the end, hang a right, look for B, bestiaries and tomes.
Spectacular, thank you. I'm just gonna go racing off that way.
And as you head off, she screeches after you, "And remember, do be quiet, it's the library."
Absolutely.
I'm gonna rub a finger inside my ear as I go up to her.
Alright, so perception check to find the correct book out of the large list.
Taka said Tinsel will grab a book that Corwin needs anyway, too. Like, if he points at a book.
Yep.
Because I assume these are high shelves.
I got my mage hand.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright. So, yeah. With Tensel's help and, giving you an extra set of eyes to see some of the books that are a bit above you on the bookshelf, you guys find one that's listed as Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Ah, fancy.
That sounds like exactly what we need. I'm just gonna go pull up to a table and sit down, start reading it.
Alright, give me a 1d26 roll.
Ooh. Oh.
Is that a lucky thing I can do, or?
No, so you just open up in the first couple of pages and start with the A's. And it gives you a rough idea on the Ankeg, which it likens to a giant nasty termite which burrows in the ground and spits acid. And you just get a rough idea that of the Ankeg as a beast, as a monstrosity specifically. So, yeah, you just scroll through it, it just seems to be kind of like Volo's Guide to Monsters sort of setup, with a couple of rough references. A couple of them have crude drawings, which aren't the best in artistic license, but...
They were probably running away as they were sketching
you
these
get a couple
things.
of them. There's a few gaps and blank pages here and there, but you get the feeling this is a reprint of someone who did make an effort to go around and catalogue various beasts, and not just limited to the beasts as well. There's monstrosity references and a couple of references to undead through it, but it's certainly a good starting point for things.
Alright. I'm gonna flip back to the O's. Is there anything about owlbears in there?
Roll investigation. Okay. Yeah, you quickly discover that it's not exactly in alphabetical order. The main section, like the A to B to C, is, but individually it all just seems to be a mash up of crap. So it takes you a bit of searching to find the owlbear section, and it does reference them as a cross between an owl, a bear, and your worst bad mood. Just with beak and claw, these carnivorous nocturnal creatures, savage large animals, and otherwise make nests similar to ours. Can see in the dark, very perceptive.
Alright. I guess I'll go back to the librarian and see if there's any way of checking out a book, or how that works.
Yes. Well, I can already see that you are not a member of the library or of the local nobility, so you can purchase select tomes from this library.
How much for the book here then? And I'll show it to her.
Ah, yeah. Good choice, good choice. This one, quite well made, well bound, well written. 50 gold for that one, please.
50 gold.
Oof.
I can tell this is some second-hand piece of junk right here. Look at this thing. Look at the pictures in here.
I'm just gonna stay quiet and kind of nudge and just nudge away. There's just get away a little bit from him.
Okay.
This is no first edition book here. Come on now. You want to charge 50 for this?
She holds on to it and says, "Well, if you do not wish to purchase it, And she puts it behind the counter.
I'll purchase it, but it's not for 50. Come on now. You look like the bartering type.
She leans over the desk towards you, and her ample bosom almost spills out on top of you as she heaves over to get a good eye-to-eye look at you and says, "A lady of my standing does not haggle." And stands back up.
You drive a hard bargain there.
You mind asking her to do that again?
Finn.
How about not the haggle, but how about a discount for my well-behaved volume in here?
We do not offer discounts either.
I'll walk on up to her. You've been more than accommodating. Mayhaps we make a deal. We're avid travelers of this world, and we encounter all manner of nasty beasties on our travels. What say we take a copy of this here book, and we take a few parchments of our own supply, of course. Perhaps we add a few additions to the book, eh? Maybe have some first-hand knowledge to it. We add to the knowledge and we add to the experiences of this book. And then, let's say, as it's more fleshed out, you give us a discount when we bring it back. Or we could just bring our pages back and, well, we could add to it. Maybe knock off the price a little.
She turns to you, Finley, and says, leans in close, looks you in the eye, and says, "I do not know you, I do not trust you, and frankly, I do not like you. It will be 55 gold for the book. Final offer."
I'll turn to the wee man. Well, I'm going to look for something else.
Nyx is impressed. She's going to do a little bit of hype man in the back. Oh shit!
Oh no, she didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Here you go. You drive a hard bargain. How about I trade you one of these?
Alright. She takes it off you and gives it a look, and you can see her studying it intently and says, "You got another one?"
Another one? Oh, one's a plenty.
"Oh, yeah, you see, I'll have to find a buyer for this, frame it and stuff. There's overhead costs on my part. The best I can do for this is maybe half the book." I'm running a
I'll give you
business here,
another.
not a charity.
I'll give you another 5 gold for your trouble. How about that?
Toss out the table of contents, the index. I mean, all of this is real just shit.
Make it another 10 gold, and that should cover the fee.
Alright. Here you go. Take it. 10 gold.
Okay, so
I hope you choke on it.
one of the 50 gold gems and 10 gold coins, and you can have the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them tome.
Alright.
I'll come on back. Might you point me to a tome of Understanding Undead and a I'll lean in close. A book on raising human children.
Jesus.
He leans in close and says, "I assume you mean in a fatherly role and not as some sort of livestock, yes?"
Oh, fucking course, eh? What are you
That's
thinking?
hilarious.
Don't tell me such a book exists.
If it exists, you can find it here, I assure you, sir.
Yeah, I'm fucking sure we could.
Honestly, You started off with wanting to talk to the undead, and then you said something about raising children. I assumed you meant raising children corpses so that you could then talk to them.
That sounds like something you ought to do.
Yeah, he says what he means and he means what he says.
Hey, I'm fucking not pussyfooting around it.
Parental advice books. Second right, third left, P section, parenting. As for the other request, I'm afraid we do not indulge in terms of that nature here.
Well, you don't know how to kill it. That's all I'm looking for. I don't want to make friends with them.
The Order of Oros and the White Order does not permit such information to be freely littered about.
They sound like right shits, they do. But fine. Who am I to make the rules? I'll go over to my parenting classes.
And at that instance, she will attempt to backhand you across the face.
Oh, she can try. I'll grab her hand.
Alright, we're going to do contested dex checks.
Cool. Just a check or a saving throw?
You can have it do a saving throw.
Fuck.
And she hits you. Yeah. I would ask that you not disgrace the name of Oros and the White Order in my presence, sir. Now, please, take your book and your midget and leave.
Rub my face a bit. And you do best to not do that again.
Yeah,
I'll go and find.
Run you through the forest with no shoes. Lady.
I'm giving this place a horrible review to my master.
Yep, on Yelp it's just going to get a 1 star.
Fuck. That's a death blow to any company.
Nobody reads Yelp.
Nobody does. Hey, you hear that? That's what's coming for you. And I'll go off and find my damn books.
Yeah, you going to push it?
Nah. I'm gonna look for my books.
Alright. Perception check from you.
Yay!
Okay. So, yeah, you kind of get lost in the area, but seem to manage to find some degree of the parenting section, but rather than going in the usual, everybody poops and raising kids sort of section of things, you end up diverted into the problematic parent raising, and the first book that you find is titled You and Your Retarded Child.
I'm gonna flip through a few pages. I don't think this is really for me.
Okay. You want to look for another book?
Yes, please.
Alright, roll it again.
Hey.
Not a
Better, I hope.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
The next title that you find is called Parenting Through Punishment. Negative reinforcement for proper etiquette.
I'll glance over at Siona and just shake my head. No. I'm gonna put that book back.
Alright, I'll let you have one more perception check if you want.
Alright.
Alright, and yeah, you find one.
Can I sniff out the book?
Says, with titled Raising Children. And
Gee, that sounds good.
And the byline is for the best and tender cuts.
What?
What the? Who even publishes this filth? I'll open it and look through a few pages.
Alright, and yeah, it's basically...
If there are pictures in this book, I am closing it and never looking back.
Yeah, there's no pictures of dismembered children, but
Thank
basically,
fuck.
it seems like a how-to guide for parenting, just written by a lifelong livestock farmer that seems to
Jesus.
tongue-in-cheek make equations between raising cattle and how you can take that knowledge into help raising kids, and how you've got to keep them well fed and well exercised and in the right environment so they grow up big and strong and so on and so forth. It doesn't get into the nitty-gritties of like the emotional and the personal side of things. It's just if you treat a kid like your livestock, this is how to raise them. A farmer's view on parenting.
I'm putting that one back. I'm going to lean down to Sion. Say, lovely. So, you knows we're a bit different, you and I. See, I'm doing my best here. I want you to know, if there's anything you don't like, you let me know. And if there's anything you're interested in learning about, you let me know. Hey?
Well, you're different. I fit in just fine around here. I've wanted to learn how to sword fight.
I'll raise my eyebrows. Like, all right. I'll teach you soon. Once we're in a bit less respectable place, I got this sword here I never use. We'll have ourselves some fun.
All right, I'll hold you to that.
I hope you do. Remember, you hold anyone to their word that gives it to you. And you make sure they keep it, because if they don't, they ain't worth nothing.
Shit.
She just gives you a nod.
Love you, lass. Let's go find the others before they burn this fucking place down.
All right. Anything else you guys want to find in the library before you are chased out by the guards? Nope. All right.
Totally not Nix's area.
Yeah. I think you can find a rule book on how to shun rules and live your own life. Rather unhelpful, all things considered.
Anarchist cookbook.
If I could read it, it'd be
You don't want
great.
that, yeah.
How to catch man.
How to win friends and influence people.
1001 fart jokes.
Alright, so what's the plan now? As we're coming to well into the night in the middle of Angkor.
Say we get us some shut-eye, then get us a fucking bath.
How long would it take for me to craft the armor that I wanted to do with the bullet for Finley?
For you to craft
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have the tools?
Well, that's what we were talking about. I was looking for my character to have the ability to create anything that would be relevant to hunting. So leatherworking, maybe a bowyer. I mean, I don't know what kit that is to make bows, arrows, and leather.
Well, there's...
That would be a Fletcher, maybe?
Yeah,
and a tanner.
Fletcher's kit and a tanner's kit. I mean, there are certain requirements for that stuff beyond the tools. I mean, you need the tanning chemicals, unless you want to use the mushed brains, which I believe also help with the tanning, and the drying rack. And yeah, there's more than just doing it out of your pocket during the road trip sort of setup. But yeah, if you want to buy that gear and spend the time to do it, you can clean up and attach straps to the bullet hide.
Right. So if I wanted to put in time on the project to finish it up, but what am I looking at total?
I'd probably put you at about 20 gold in equipment and material just to set up everything you need to do, and all the consumables that you use for it, because it is a pretty decent piece that needs a pretty decent amount of work to stop it from being a problem. But yeah, if you want to go 20 gold, I will give Finley a shield that he can effectively wear in beast form.
Awesome.
Nice.
20 gold. How long is that going to take me?
Oh yeah, you're going to be here in Aincourt until the ball. It'll be several days.
Couple days, yeah.
Okay, so
It'll
I'll be
probably
making
be done.
Oh. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Basically, I'll be spending the rest of our downtime in Ancourt doing that.
Yeah, if you're just going to wait around for the ball, the rest of your downtime until the ball starts setting up this shield, which is basically just drilling holes in to attach straps in, curing and cleaning and prepping it, and then just fitting it for straps and stuff that you could fit around Finley. And it might be a bit of a pain if you start shifting forms, but if Finley's holding it when he shifts, basically he can just shift into the right place in it and get that +2 to AC.
That was the concept I was going for, mostly for the bear or anything big. But I was going to try and make straps that would be big enough to receive him once he's shifted.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
then Nix will bunker down and make that for him. And I'll be playing as Tinsel as the rest of the group does their things.
Alright, so, 20 gold, it counts as a shield, so +2 AC. It only works in a large beast form. And,
that's fine. I have a shield as a humanoid anyway.
Yeah.
So this will be nice to have. Bump me up a little bit anyway.
Yep, so we'll go with that.
Some of these beast forms later in levels have some really nice armor class too, actually. I think Giant Scorpion has like a 14 or 15 armor class.
Yeah, so that'll bump you up a bit.
Yeah.
Alright, I spent the gold already, but that's what Nix will do, up to the ball.
Thank you. Guess we're going after an owl bear once daylight breaks.
Okay. So you want to hunt them in the daytime?
Probably a good idea. They are nocturnal hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Corwin, mind if I see a fancy book there?
Hey, sure.
Thank you. I'm going to flip through a few pages till I get to owl bears. Is there anything else about it that we might have skipped over that we hadn't seen or anything?
Yeah, not particularly. It doesn't go too in-depth about the creatures. It doesn't tell you how to find them or how to kill them and so forth.
Gotcha.
It's just, if it's obvious, you might get like what they're resistant to, what they prefer. But yeah, it just says carnivorous, nocturnal, hunts their prey like a bear would, so however you decide to trap and kill a bear might work for the now bear.
Yeah, I'm fairly familiar with bears, so hopefully this isn't too bad. But and you said there were some blank pages in this book?
Yeah, it seems like whoever wrote this left intentional blank pages to fill in extra beasts.
Cool. Does anyone have pens and inks? So I think might be a good idea for us to record experiences while we go through and hunt these things.
Nope, but I could buy some.
Yeah, I could buy some too if we need paper and stuff. Whoever's got the best handwriting. Probably not me. I mean, these fingers of mine.
Tinsel's gonna look over. He's gonna just float up. Well, how about the little old lady over there? Or not old, but little lady over there. She's literate, yeah?
I taught her myself. She's learning a few from me too, eh?
Seems like a scribe kind of situation for her would be good for a young child looking to learn her way into the world.
Does Tinsel have a cowboy accent?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, he does. Tinsel is a good old-fashioned American, and he eats apple pie.
What's an American?
It's a Mirandel thing. Don't worry about it.
Fucking weird.
A little bit.
Yeah. We taking a break soon, or are we only going to like 12 or something?
We
Another
usually go
hour.
for another hour. But if you guys want a bathroom break, grab a drink, we can take 5 and continue on from
Sure.
there. Yep. All right.
Q.
I'll meet you back in 5.
See y'all in 5.
Yep.
Carrion, are you still here? Nope. That music was ominous.
It was.
Sorry, I just figured out why the sound wasn't working. It seems that when you
Music.
force Firefox not to autoplay stuff, it doesn't play at all for the music in Roll20.
Nice.
So I either have to have auto-playing videos on some fucking sites, which is a stupid idea, I don't know why people still do it, or I've got no sound in Roll20. Alright, so is everyone back?
I'm back. I think. I don't know.
Meta might not be back yet. Arian, can I equip Tinsel with a flask of oil and a tinder kit so I could try and add it like a D4 and fire to his arrows?
Okay, he's a tiny size, yeah?
Yeah, he only does 1 point of damage if he hits.
What's his strength score?
It's like nothing impressive. Hold on.
2. Maybe.
Oh, that was a check, but 3. He's like me in intelligence. So like the short bow or his longsword, they all do 1 set piece of damage. I just want to try and add some fire to it.
Okay, he can carry at most 11 pounds.
Okay.
And sorry if you get crunching coming through, I'm eating a brownie.
That's fine. The flask of oil shouldn't be that heavy.
No. Let's have a look. Oil is 1 pound for a flask.
Okay, so he'll keep a flask on him and a tinder kit. I'll give him mine because I can't. My Nyx is up in a hotel room right now, so if any combat comes, he may light up so that he can do a little bit of damage.
Yeah, and the tinderbox is 1 pound, so that's 2 pounds in that. Probably, yeah, not that much with the short bow and arrows.
So yeah, you're about 3 pounds or so carry weight at the moment.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, really crunchy on the edges, this one.
That's the best.
Oh, these are pretty good brownies.
They'll kick in about 30 minutes.
Shit, can I have some?
I have this image of the party completely wiping on this fight, and
It's just an owl bear.
Nick's finishing up with the shield and looking all over town for everyone. Look what I made, guys! Look what I made!
Oh, maybe you should come with us then.
Can't. Said I was already doing it.
And the saddest part is that you don't know they've died, you just think they left you.
Exactly.
I guess I'll just go. And we still have yet to find Jeffrey.
Don't worry, there will be a notice board for the demon goat that's living under the city.
Oh, I know.
Did Meta fall in the toilet or something?
Could be taking a shit.
Yeah. Just gotta grit your teeth and burst through it. It's all about DPS, not stamina. Alright, so none of you other guys are just doing anything? You're just waiting on the owlbear fight?
Yeah, we're gonna track him down, see where its lair is, see if it's sleeping.
Just wait for Meadow. And see if T shows up at all.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. She hasn't really said anything.
Didn't she say she was on her way like 2 hours ago?
Yeah, a little while ago.
It was closer to 3 hours ago, yeah. Must be hella traffic.
I guess so.
Oh. I have been adjusting fights on the idea that there'll be 4 people rather than the 5. So.
Appreciate it.
I mean, it'd be nice if she showed up, but I've gotten to the habit now of just... It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, don't think so.
No. Okay, if Meta's not back in the next minute, I have to go and get another brownie.
Is that a threat?
No, it's
Sounds
a
like it's a promise.
Alright, I'm back. I had to
There
make
we
a
go.
snack.
Welcome back. We're
Yay.
just about to lose our DM to brownie comas.
The what?
Yes.
Yeah. Alright,
Anywho, moving on.
so you guys spend the night in opulence. Well, some of you do. That's this,
I do.
right?
I'm gonna
And,
give Siona a bath.
Yeah. Like, this is taste of the good life stuff. Like Like this is a giant lion's foot, hammered copper bathtub. The people fill it up with hot water for you by the buckets, and you get fresh scented soaps and the fluffiest towels you've ever felt. It's all
In we
top-notch
go.
stuff. Private fireplace in your room that is stocked and started by the servants, and you get roast pheasant and leg of boar, and it's all roasted veggies. It's just the full deal. Just everything you'd think that the excessive side of life does. And you've certainly spoilt her rotten on this part, but everyone else has a rather uneventful night. Just taking them, and we go back around to the morning as you guys get together. Minus Nix, who seems to be preoccupied in her room doing something. And I assume for this,
Nixie, you're coming out.
Tinsel's not going to be invisible just for the sake of the party.
I mean, he can when he wants to, but for now, he'll float around with the party.
So, you guys have a plan? You go out and kill an owlbear? How do you want to proceed?
I would like that we first find its lair.
Yeah, get it while it's asleep.
Get a good sleep and check and see where it lives.
Alright, I'll just preface that, but in the morning, when you wake me up, I am far more argumentative and grumpy than I ever was when I'm awake. So I'm not sure waking the owlbears the better idea. But,
yes, but we get a surprise round.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so yeah, how are you going to find the lair?
Let's see.
Just go around, look for tracks, and try to find them back.
I assume they leave tracks like a bear. I'm pretty good at what a bear looks like and how it moves and shit.
Let's look for a bear tracks that have a kind of owl shape to them.
Hey.
Yeah.
More of an owl track that's kind of like a bear.
Tracks that who when you press on them.
Yeah. Do I find any?
Alright. So, I assume you're going out of town first?
Yeah.
Not looking through the streets of Ancourt for bear tracks?
I'm looking at pictures of owlbears. Some of them are terrifying and some of them are derpy as fuck.
Oh, I like the baby owlbear ones. They're adorable.
Aww.
But
I want to talk with one of the guards on the way out.
sure. If you find one of the nearby guards who just kind of grunts in your general direction.
So is there like a stamp or something that we need on our hand so that we don't have to wait back in line to get back in town, or how does that work?
Stamp.
Whoop.
I ain't got no stamps.
Oh, like, how do you know that that we've been here and that we're staying here and we don't have to go through the whole process to get back into town?
Yeah.
Don't they have like a rubber stamp or something that they can put on the back of our...
They got our names.
Yeah, we don't tend to keep too much track. Not many people wander out of town and then back in that often. Why, you plan on going somewhere?
Gonna go on a hunt.
Bit of recreation, eh?
It's the coats were looking for some exotic foods for, I guess, some sort of party or something they got going. So we were going to go out and look for it.
We'll give them the notice.
Alright, I see. Business then. Tell you what, I will keep an eye out for you. You come back before the end of the day and come back through this gate and it should be sorted. But take too long or go in through somewhere else. Back in the line.
Hey. Oh, we should bring... Did you end up buying a cart and an ox, Atlas?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah, let's bring that.
Alright. You can definitely bring the oxen cart. And you guys head out. Survival check from your tracker.
I cast guidance on the tracker.
Thank you.
Tinsel will try and give him some help. Be his eyes above, flying high.
Alright, taking... So, Atlas uses guidance. Tinsel uses the help action, so you can do the survival check at advantage, plus 1d4.
Thank you.
So,
Okay, 1d4. Unless you wanted to.
Nope.
Okay. Nice. So an 18.
Alright. Yeah, you go to where you assume the bears would be most likely to be. Yeah, you being so familiar with the bears and bear forms, and head off into the shrub, well off the beaten path, in what's not an overly forested area, a bit of in between bushland, and start looking around. You do see various animal tracks, the ley lines of animal movements through the grass and so forth, hunting trails and whatnot. And you see one that looks like it's had some sort of bear travel in the past day or two. It's kind of fresh tracks, not immediately so. So you get the feeling that you're in the general area, and yeah, you can either track them back or forward, because you're not sure if they were coming from or to the lair, or you can wait around and try and bait them. However you decide to hunt bears.
All right. Here
Well,
we
it's
go.
the middle of the day, so it'd probably be in the cave. So
Yeah.
let's
I
follow
have a hunting trap. Can certainly use that.
Yep.
I say, let's see. And this was heavy foot traffic for this bear-ish creature.
It's just the one track running through, and like I said,
Gotcha.
it's too old. But yeah, it's a hunting trail. There's plenty of smaller tracks about the place, maybe the odd rabbit,
Yeah.
bush chook.
And it is nocturnal, so yeah, it's probably resting right now, like what Atlas said. So yeah, should probably find where it's roosting first.
I'd say follow the tracks forward.
Works for me. Maybe we should stealth up.
Yeah.
I'll do.
Have the stealthy ones go first, while the unstealthy ones go way at the back.
And I got past without a trace.
Okay.
Never mind.
So
Okay, so
Tinsel
21
roll.
for.
Tinsel can roll for stealth with advantage, plus 10.
Oh, nice.
Well,
So
filthy motherfucker.
37 for Tinsel, who just seems
And
to
20.
disappear. And the lowest one was 17 for Atlas. Yep. Alright, so you stealth up, and now you're just trying to follow the tracks, basically.
Yep.
Alright.
Just keeping it quiet, keeping it low. 5 meter spread, no noise.
Radio silence.
Atlas in the back.
Alright, another survival check from you as you follow the tracks then.
Okay. Let's see. Tinsel want to help me with that? Or nah, if he helps me, he would go out of stealth, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'd have to
Don't want
talk
to do that. Yes. Never mind, don't need it.
Don't need it.
Hopefully.
Okay. So you, follow the tracks. You say at some point or another, this creature's bound to go back home. And you follow the tracks. At some point, it seems like the footfalls seem to grow larger in between, a greater distance between each one, and you get the impression that at this point it started running. And further up, you see a tree which looks like it's had the bark torn off it in a certain section, and there's just the grass and ground's been torn up in the area. Spots of blood here and there, so it made a kill. You're pretty confident. And then you just
Lovely.
follow the tracks until they do a bit of a meandering curve, and it takes you a good few hours to do so, but you never lose sight of the tracks you're quarrying. They become fresher and deeper, and eventually leads you to a small kind of rocky outcropping in the forest as trees grow up and about it. You look through and think maybe you're close. Maybe there's some crack cave formation in here that they've roosted in.
Guess we keep following the trail until we make it to like some sort of some clear sign, or we actually see the beast.
Alright, you follow it up, and you're pretty confident you've tracked it down to its lair. As
Okay.
heavy heavy traffic and just the scent of creature inhabiting the area, and it's basically walk up to a dark cave in the rock formation.
Okay. How deep in does the cave go? Is it a fairly large cave, or is it just kind of like a very shallow one? Just kind of like a overhang?
I don't know. Do you want to go and have a look? It's
I'll peer in.
It's yep. Okay. So it's it's pretty dark in there quite quickly, and it just seems to descend back a little bit, but not too deep.
Gotcha. Do I see the animal in there?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
I cast guidance.
Thank you. Might want to be careful with that, slinging spells around, just saying. Lovely.
Yeah, if you look in and...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's dark and gloomy.
So 12.
In the shade of the trees, and... Yeah. Maybe? I mean... Could just be rocky outcropping. Might be something there. You don't see anything, but you definitely do. It smells like potent of an animal's den. It's kind of overpowering your senses at this distance.
All right. I'll return back to the group. Fairly sure it's in there. Hard to see though. It's a bit dank in there. I'll pull out my trap. It's like, I say, we lead it out into here. I'll cover the trap. Once it springs it, lock it down. Then we drop the beast.
So we wait for nightfall.
No. We shoot at it and bring it out. Unless you want to wait till nightfall. We came here like... what time of the day is it right now, actually?
Yeah, you're heading into afternoon, probably about 2 or 3
Okay.
after the several hours it took to track the creature and then follow it around. Yeah, you're in the afternoon at some point.
Alright. I'll cast Light Cantrip on any arrows anyone wants to throw or shoot in, and once we're done, I'll get ready to cast Firebolt into it.
Actually, I got a really good idea. I'll go towards, I assume I can't see Tinsel. Tinsel,
no.
You there?
Yeah, what?
Hey, let me see that oil bottle you got.
Why? What exactly are you thinking?
Got an idea. We dribble a bit of oil around the opening of the cave. Once we draw the beastie out, you light him up. Either that or we can have our resident sorcerer here throw himself a little fireball into it. Hey?
Alright. I'll give him the oil.
Thanks. I'm not going to just drench all of it, but I'm going to gather up a bunch of leaves, bunch of dry twigs, bunch of crushed up, foliage and such, and I'm going to make a nice little pile like right at the mouth of the cave. And then I'm going to dash a bit of oil around it. And I'll do like half the bottle if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll give the rest to Tinsel. So, right. You coat your arrows in that. And then once you see the beastie, you let him loose. And then I'll, while I was doing that, getting that, I'll set my trap like near the path from between us and the cave.
Yep.
Just put that down there, like right near the middle, and cover it with some leaves.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
You think you're all
Other than
prepped?
that, probably not, but oh well. Anything else you guys would have an idea about?
No, I think that's you pretty much handled it all pretty well.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, so how do you want to kick this off?
Probably kick it off with a volley of arrows and a firebolt.
Yeah?
Sounds good to me.
Sure.
Yep, just
Alrighty.
rouse it up, piss it off, get it to come out of the cave.
Let's get some battle music going then. Alright, let's go down the list then. Atlas.
Are we... Oh, yeah.
By the way, I'm casting light cantrip on the arrows, so we have extra light to work with.
Okay, you get one action to start this all off as a group. Each having one. So Atlas, your action first.
I'll set fire to the oil.
Okay, so you fire down and light that up, and it seems to spread across a small section of the opening and lights her up.
I thought we were trying to hit the oil when it was over top of it.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
wait.
I was... Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I
right.
was wanting us to do. We
And it-
draw it out, and once it gets to
Sorry, I
the
thought
mouth of the
that-
cave... Yeah.
Right, yeah, sorry. Can
It's
I throw
okay.
my firebolt in?
So that's going to go target just inside the cave.
Yeah.
Yeah. For Tinsel's action, I'm setting a small fire next to me so I can light up my arrows.
Alright, that's no problem. Okay, so Atlas fires basically blind into the dusk of the cave, and the firebolt just impacts the wall and lets off with a shower of sparks and flame, during which Tinsel lights its own little fire in the area for its arrows. So, Finley, what do you want to do?
Okay. Do I notice if anything's stirring, if the creature's coming out?
This is all in the same instance, so if you want to wait
okay.
to have a look, you'll lose your action.
Okay. Can I hold an action, actually? Or no? If I can't hold it, then I'll just, I'll cast Spike Growth, because that's what I was gonna do, like, if I saw it coming out, but otherwise I'll just throw up a Spike Growth if I can't hold my action.
Well, you can hold your action, and it all depends on how... Like, if you go first in the initiative order, it's kind of pointless. but
Right.
You can
That's
if you
true.
want.
I'll just use my action now then, and I'll cast Spike Growth so that there are spikes between us and the mouth of the cave.
Okay, so spike growth, that's a 20-foot radius?
20-foot radius, yes. Becomes difficult terrain, and yeah, the whole piercing damage every 5 feet.
Okay, so... something like that.
I don't think it has any difficult terrain. Oh, never mind, it does. Never noticed that.
Alright, yep, and last one, act Corwin.
Yeah, I'll just hold an action for light crossbow, 'cause I don't have anything else to do.
Okay, and as the firebolt goes through and impacts onto the wall and start, you see the dark shape in the center just rise up and then start to move forward, and you watch as it seems to split and rise up to a second shape that also seems to move forward. And then
Lovely.
out of it you hear a screech as two owlbears rush towards the group.
Oh boy!
So, initiative please.
Double meat!
Does that mean I can see it?
Yeah, you can see it now. So-
Can I shoot it with my held action?
Just roll for initiative, we'll put you all down. They rolled a terrible fucking initiative.
Good. Fuck 'em.
Yay!
Nice.
Alright, so,
I'll be
yeah, you can use your held action. If you want.
Alright. That'd be advantage, because I'm stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do anything, so
Yeah, and your stealth roll beat their passive perception.
lovely. Nice.
Which one?
Top one.
Sorted. Okay, that fires through, and at the second they screech, you just aim for the one making the noise and fire off, and it shuts up almost mid reaches the boat. The bolt just impacts and thuds deep into the flesh, and we go around to Finley.
Okay, I'm doing bear. Let's see, let me change my token. Bearing it up. I'm just going to be right here. And then I will hold an action if they get into melee range. Actually, I'll be right here. And then, yeah, I'll hold an action until they get into melee range.
Yep. Atlas?
Alright, I will Scorching Ray. The first bolt and the first ray will hit the ground where the oil is sitting on a fire, and the remaining two will hit the injured owlbear.
Okay, it will be 24, 25. That will do. Okay, so the first one goes through and lights up the area, and the other two hit the owlbear. 7 and a 9. Alright. As you fire through and just light up that oil, it just goes woof, and seems to spread across a small section of the area. And with traps, spike growth, and now flaming piles of debris, you've pretty easily blocked off the area between you and the owlbears. Anything else from you, Atlas?
That's it for me.
Tinsel.
Alright. By the way, Tinsel wouldn't have been this close to the ambush zone.
Alright.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit better. Alright, Tinsel's going to light up an arrow, hold an attack until something gets within 40 feet of it. So
where's Nyx?
I'm sorry?
Where's Nyx?
Nyx is building her armor.
Oh.
Yeah, she's playing arts and crafts back at the inn.
Yeah.
Okay, all good?
Yep, holding my attack.
Okay, now we'll go down to this one. Just going to rush around to there, avoiding the flames. I need it's 2d4 per square, so 8d4 from for spike growth.
There we go. Not a single one in there. Very nice.
Does that take it out?
I wonder. Probably close. Nah, that's what I thought.
Puts it to there as it rushes over, scraping up the left-hand side as it just tries to skirt the area and just gets caught up in the spike growth, but it still barrels through. Corwin.
Yep. I will take a light crossbow shot at the top one there.
And that is a hit.
Nice.
And a kill.
Good job, lads.
Cool. And with that, I will... yeah, let's stay there. That's it.
Yep. Okay, move down to this other one. Yeah.
I just realized I can use Druidcraft to light up or snuff a small fire anyway. Oh well. It's a lot more fun to do it with an arrow. Or a
So
fireball.
that one's running back further in.
Yeah, and it's seeming to take a... Yeah, it's running off through to the trees. And
Oh, so we don't have the entrance completely blocked?
oh,
Well, no, it's going towards the trees around the fort, or around its cave,
Yeah.
I assume.
it's out of the entrance. The cave's just back here with the shadow, and it's just scooting around for more heavy cover. Going to attempt to break line of sight. And
I say we let it go. We just needed some meat, and
does
owlbears are pretty big.
as it just starts barreling through the bush, trying to get away from the aggressors. Back around to Finley.
Should we go after it, or?
I mean, they might pay another 300 for a second corpse.
That's true. I don't know if I can really make it though. Let's see, what's my movement as a bear? I think 40. Yeah, 40, and climb of 30. 35.
I say let spike growth drop at this point.
Yeah. That's only gonna get me to there anyway, though.
It was dash.
Yeah, I could dash, I suppose. Yeah, I'll use. Would dropping spike growth be an action or?
No, it
No.
just drops.
Okay. Okay, I'll just drop spike growth. Yeah, and then I'll just I'll use regular action dash, and get right up in its grills.
Okay.
And yeah, that'll do me. Circumventing the fire as well.
Of course.
Of course.
Atlas.
I'm gonna run up a little bit here to stay in range. And firebolt.
Give it a roll. That's a definite hit. As you pepper it in the arse as it tries to run away and find a more advantageous position. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Right, Tinsel.
Tinsel's gonna just dash because I don't want to have to attack at disadvantage. So, from his position up in the air, actually I'll get maybe 20 feet up, so I'll go.
Yep.
That's my turn. I had to dash to do that.
Going.
Yep. Yep. Gonna go all the way down there. Bonus action dash. And regular action. Light crossbow at it.
At 11, finally you miss.
Haha.
As it tries to
That's it for me.
dive through
Damn.
the bushes, you just get deflected off a branch. And for the sake of being on the map, I'm shifting you guys along.
Okay, thanks.
Alright, so we go down
That was handy.
to the owlbear, who is going to screech in defense and just turn around at you, Finley, who's harassing it, and flail wildly in your direction with beak and claw.
Okay.
That is an 11 to hit.
I have 11 armor class, I think. Let me just double check. Yep, 11 exactly.
Alright, so the first one hits and the second one is a natural one. As this panicked
Lovely.
creature just turns around, screeching, and just wildly starts slashing at you, and the beak manages to dig in for 13 points of piercing damage, but the
That's
claws
pretty
go
good.
wild as you push forward and continue the assault, and it is going to move over to there.
Okay.
So
Attack of opportunity.
Yep.
Nice. Oop, sorry, just a sec. And now it has 0 movement.
Okay. So I get 9, and you just knock it on its ass right there, stopping in its tracks, and it's back around to you.
Okay. I'm whacking it.
Damn right you are.
I'm fucking angry.
Sorry, but the masturbating bear is trademarked by Conan. He's
Sorry,
not
whack.
used to it.
Sorry, the whacking bear done is copyright. You're gonna have to pay money for that.
Alright, so, yep. As it tries to dart out of your grasp, you just reach forward, bite it, and hold it in place, and then you just keep pummeling it as it's writhing, trying to get away from you. Anything else you want to do?
No, that's me. Unless you would let me bonus action whack it.
Not as bad.
Nah.
Alright, Atlas.
Cast bolt.
Ooh. Ah.
That misses.
Yeah, 9 to hit. Yeah, I mean, it's a new spell for you. You haven't used it that much. You're still getting used to it, and it just sails off into the distance as you make sure not to hit Finley by mistake. Anything else?
No.
Alright, Tinsel.
Alright.
For the kill steal.
Alright, that's a
13's
hit.
not great.
Roll your. Are you doing the fire, or are you just.
Yeah, I suppose. No, but look how far away I am from the fire, I said. I can't imagine that arrow stayed
Yeah.
on. But
Alright. So,
Constitution save.
save from him.
If it falls asleep, I feel we should just let it go. But otherwise, if it's still gonna fight, then I
Okay,
definitely
so
want
you
to kill
rolled a
it.
6. So it's not a
Damn.
7.
Wow.
But it
Nope.
is
Poison, though. That's it. Well, I'll move a little closer. I'm 20 feet up, but I'll move another 40.
Okay, so cool when you're up.
Yep. Alright, 25 to go there, another 10 to go there. So, boom. And then, boom. And then, while it was in range, just normal rapier.
That's a hit.
And dagger offhand.
Ooh.
Yeah, that puts it down. Don't worry about
That
that.
sneak attack would have been on the first one.
Yeah.
You put it down anyway, and it, as it's trying to scramble away from the bear that's just tearing chunks out of its back legs,
Nah.
come along, and as an arrow sails overhead and digs into its flesh, and it just seems to rocket with the impact, even though it's a tiny little arrow. You come in and finish it off, and it screeches in pain, and then starts to wobble, and then falls down limp, and just seems to stop.
Alright, let's load them up and haul them out.
Why do they call these things owlbears? They sound more like hawk bears.
Yeah. Like eagle bears.
Tinsel's
drop.
trying to go into the cave and see if there's anything interesting there.
Yeah,
Well,
good idea.
if they have little pups, we could sell them as veal.
Fucking A.
Does Tinsel have dark vision?
No, Tinsel does not have dark vision.
Okay, perception check with disadvantage.
I can put the light cantrip on something for Tinsel.
Alright, if you want to do that, just a straight roll in. Alright, Tinsel does find a collection of 3 eggs, which are as big as he is.
Aw.
Let's take them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, so ostrich eggs by comparison is what you're looking at.
I'll carry them.
Okay.
I'm gonna the duration and start dragging the corpses back to the cart.
Alright, cool. You can do that, no problem. You load up both
Okay.
owlbears onto the cart.
Okay. And then I'll drop bear form, and then I'd like to collect some of the claws from the owl bears if I could.
You want to declaw them?
Yes, I would like to take their claws.
By the way, gentlemen, I would be remiss if I did not tell you that one of those eggs belongs to me and Nix.
Fair enough.
Hey, you can make a nice omelet out of it. Other than that, I'm taking these claws.
Alright, anything else you guys
How
want
many?
to do? Yeah. Just, roll me 1d4.
Okay.
Three claws. You find 3 claws that aren't broken or busted or shit. You find nice 3 pristine claws out of
Nice.
the front claws out of the creatures. The back ones don't seem to have as appreciable talons. So they're not even worth you checking out. But you do find 3
Nice.
decent ones out of them.
I'll take a leather cord and I'll clean them off and I'll start making a necklace.
All right. So nothing else you guys want to do here? Just take the corpses back home and try and get your reward.
Exactly. And then, of course, pick up Nyx and Siona.
All right, no problem. Yeah, so you guys go through another couple of hours as it's slow going now with the fully loaded cart, and you're still going through brush rather than a proper track. So it does take you a bit of time to move your way back in a court.
Nice. Oh, I picked up my trap, by the way.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Just saying.
coming in. The sun's starting to fade at the end of this day, but it's been a successful day with not 1 but 2 owlbear corpses. And you head back into the guard that you talked to on your way out, and he just motions you in and just gives a whistle. Goes, some good work, and you go in for free without too much of a problem.
Thank you.
and you just go straight pick up Nyx and Siona, yeah?
Yeah,
Alright, and then...
unless Nyx doesn't want to come out of her room.
Well, it depends on how much, because I'm basically crafting until the ball, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's not... doesn't take you full time, though. It's downtime activity. You can spend like 8 hours doing it, and that's no problem. A lot of it's just waiting around, so if you want to do other stuff in the meantime, you can certainly go walk about. It's not going to ruin stuff.
Okay. Well, you let me know.
Yep. Alright, so you can gather the rest of the party, and then you're just hauling the birds to the Dakotas.
Yeah. I'll motion Siona to the back. It's like, take a look at this, love. Then I'll throw the drape away. I'll throw the drape away to show the owl bears. It's like, look, owl bears.
See, we don't know the way to the Dakotas, do we? They're the redcoats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tinsel followed the blue ones.
Right. I assume in the opposite direction.
Pretty much. So yeah, if you just ask around, and you're directed to the Dakotas, and Siona's just looking at the owlbears as he's walking along behind him, and just seems a little distracted or out of it. And yep, you're taken to the Dakotas family estate, and likewise, it is grand estate. Enough garden space in the area to account for the entire town that Siona has grown up in. And then there's the building itself, which is castle by her reckoning, even though it's not even the biggest building in the town. And you're directed by guards to the back entrance where the help and cooks go. When you meet up with a fellow who is dressed in immaculate noble finery, it is pure form and function rather than the opulence and flair and stuff. I am Major Domo Evans, and I see you have a delivery for us.
Aye, freshest meat you can ever find.
I see. So someone did endeavour to go out and fetch an owlbear for the feast. Much obliged.
Not just one.
Indeed.
I'll pull the flap back and show them the two bodies.
Brought them both down myself.
Aye, he did. Nasty, vicious one, this little bad is.
We even got 2 eggs.
I see. In the habit of overachieving, are you?
A little bit.
Very well.
We aim
Make
to
a good
please.
first impression.
Indeed, I will give mention to the Lord and Lady. However, the request was just for the one owlbear, and unfortunately that is the extent to which our funds stretch. So 300 gold is the bounty for the creatures. If you will just roll it over there, and we'll have our manservants divulge your cargo.
Who's the negotiator here?
Not
Suppose
I.
I'd be. Could
What
you,
can
could
you
you,
say?
could
Yeah.
you butcher it for us and make us a neat little meal for the second one?
And he's all prim and proper, and his nose is still in the air. And he goes, I'm afraid we're not in the business of providing butchery services, but if you and your fellows are still looking for employment in extra coin, I may have use for you as guards at the banquet.
Pff, I wanted to dance. And eat. I wanted to fucking eat. Or bloody eat, rather. Pardon me language.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure about.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I am a member of the Wither family. If I'm going to the ball, it would be to dance.
The Withers, truly. And he seems to just rifle through something on his notepad. We had not deigned to invite any of the Wither family to this location. Your lands are quite a distance away.
I happen to be in the area.
Very well, I shall consult with my lady, and if she deigns so, I will extend an invitation to you and your compatriots. However, there will be certain rules in effect during the ball. Formal dress only, no weapons, no spells.
Alright.
I grin at the idea of no weapons. Say, aye, that's fine with me.
Half of us are weapons.
We don't tell him that.
No, we don't.
Major man, you mind I wear me kilt? I mean, it has been in me family for quite a generation or two.
I am Major Domo Evans, sir, and if such is your formal attire, so be it.
Aye, 'tis from the ancient lands of the Tribelands. Aye, we come from a very long lineage of mighty hunters and mighty oarsmen who have faced many a countless endeavour against the oncoming scourges of nary a nightmarish monstrosity. If you have the time, I would gladly tell you about the tales of me great grandpappy by the name of Sionjin Mark V. Quail. He was a man of renowned strength and viciousness, he was. Nigh on 12 feet tall, 900 pounds of sheer mass and brute force, and he done teared up an entire fleet of fucking bullets, he did.
I'm getting flashbacks to the Scotsman from Samurai Jack here.
And Evans, as rules of etiquette prevent me from interrupting you, I would ask that you please do not do so again. And gives a click of his heels and says, "Good day to you, sir."
Aye, 1,000 patterns and all that.
Gives a click, and the servants start rushing to offload the cart as Evans turns around and heads back inside.
They can go ahead and keep the second carcass. We have no use for it.
We could sell that.
Big ass town, yeah.
Oh yeah, we can take it into town.
I say we keep it. We just keep it in the cart. Maybe we'll find somebody.
Yeah, take it into town to try to sell it.
Okay.
Now, like four of us participated, 3 of us in here, and 1 of us in spirit. So that's 300 divided by 4.
Yep.
So
Math skills don't fail me now.
75
Yep,
gold.
75 each.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you trying to offload the second one to the local butchers or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless there's like an alchemist or something who has a keen interest in owlbear corpses, I assume we're just harvesting for the meat and the bones and the feathers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Specifically, every monster's blood can be used as an alchemy ingredient.
Well, let's drain some blood then, definitely.
Yeah.
Everything.
Do we have vials?
We don't, but we can just take it to the alchemist.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you can buy the vials and take your own blood. They're not overly dear.
Let's just go to the alchemist and sell the corpse.
Yeah, they might want something for it.
Every time I see your name, I keep wanting to pronounce it Fiona.
Finla.
Alright. Sure, why not? Yeah, you head over, find the alchemist, one of many, in the district near the library. And, yeah, the board across the top of it, in a rather well done building that seems to just have an open sort of window section that serves as the countertop bar, and stenciled in nice kind of plant-like font is the words Siona's Alchemy Supplies.
Oh. I'll turn to Siona and give her, just raise an eyebrow at her. It's like, how about that? Since when were you opening a business behind me back, Siona?
Do behave, Pa. Other people have the same name.
Hey, just a bit of joking. It's a pretty name, I think.
Aye.
In we go then, I suppose.
Alright. So immediately as you step in, you're assaulted by the force of smoke that just starts curling out the door directly at you. And it is not rancid or coughing smoke. It seems to have this fruity scent to it. And immediately you guys start getting lightheaded. I want everyone who walked through the door to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God. Aw, man.
That was tinsel.
Lucky.
Okay. So, yeah.
What about Siona?
That was the 9.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so Finley, Corwin, and Siona just immediately start to feel a little bit lightheaded. The rest of you guys just power on through it. But yeah, suddenly your hands seem a bit heavier, and everything looks a little bit brighter. And suddenly you just don't seem to have so many troubles on your shoulder. You're a bit free, and everything seems a bit better in the world. And yeah, you've got a hell of a craving for Doritos, and so forth. And there's this rather young lady, perhaps in her late teens, early 20s, who just seems to float over to you guys and says, "Hello there. I am Siona. Is there anything I can provide?"
Siona, you're a lot bigger than I remember.
Don't oversell it.
Right, yes. We're looking to offload some potential alchemical supplies, and I gesture towards the cart in the street.
She just nods longer. Groovy.
Yeah, man.
Like, totally.
You druid by any chance? 'Cause this is quite nice you got.
Ugh.
Reminds me of some brand that I had with me when I was with my circle.
Yeah, I'm a druid. What tipped you off, eh?
I don't know, just something in the air caught me attention.
Is that an owlbear?
Yep.
Dude. I ain't seen one of them since I was a wee little girl. Ate my dog, it did.
Ouch.
That's rough, man.
Never liked that dog anyway. More of a cat person, you know. I like to get laid back and just sit around and eat and be petted and such, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I'd turn into a cat. It was pretty nice at times.
Yeah, cats are cool, man. So,
Yeah.
what can I get you for that owlbear, yeah?
Huddle up, team. Huddle up.
Sure. Alright.
Alright, so I was thinking that maybe we take a little bit of the blood, and then in exchange, he gives us some knowledge on what exactly it can do, and maybe some things that we could combine it with to make stuff.
That's cool, little man. I turn to Siona.
Atlas isn't even bothering to participate. He's just laughing his ass off.
Siona, what do you think?
The hell's wrong with you? What are you doing?
Stop acting weird. I'll have to hit you.
What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you, Pixie?
Why you harshing my
What?
vibe, dog?
Why are you killing my buzz, man?
Hmm. Anyways, I think Colin has a pretty good idea there. We have some ingredients here as well that we need some identification, and honestly, some knowledge goes a long way.
Far out, man. Trade for trade, yeah?
Sure.
Cool.
Alright. What do you want to know?
Yeah. So I'll bring out the stuff that we salvaged. Forest 4, Forest 8, Forest 9.
Alright. Well, it's 2 o'clock this side of things, so we'll call it there. I'll tell you what, Alright. I'll let you have 4 questions off this tripping alchemist. You can ask basically the effects, 4 effects of, the ingredients. Or 4 recipes or something like that. And I'll tell you what 4, 8, and 9 are.
All right. We can figure out what we want to ask.
Okay, so Forest 4 is allspice, the crushed bark of the malin tree, which you guys have had before. 8 is juggernaut leaf, which is a spiky-edged leaf, rather thick and tough-looking thing. And 9 is giant leaf, which is another big green leaf which has almost orange-like veins running through it.
Cough, cough, and large.
You think
What
I'd
do
be
they
that
do?
obvious?
What?
Alright, so what do you want to figure out? I can tell you an effect of... Yeah, you can find out 4 effects. It's just which ones you want, or you can ask for recipes.
Yeah, what I'm interested in are recipes that deal in easily. Well, first of all, anything that our kit can make, and nothing above because that doesn't help us. But I'm looking for beginner alchemy kits recipes. I don't even know what's out there. So can he give us an offering as what's available, and then we can select based on the effects?
I'll let you guys handle this. I'm gonna head out.
Yep.
All right.
Okie dokie. Have a good night.
Good night.
Alright, so you're just looking for like low-level healing potions.
Fortify health. I mean, I don't even know what other options are out there. Something that we could be able to make regularly, so that we can actually make use of the kit.
Alright, I'll see if I can find some base level stuff. Alright, so for one of them, she'll tell you can combine mistletoe, which is cheap and
Oh
plentiful.
wait, hold on. Before she tells me what the combinations are, I'm just curious about what the effects are, so that we can barter in that form.
Yeah, so a low-level healing potion, mistletoe combined with moose knuckle.
Eh?
Yeah, mistletoe and moose knuckle. They're very low-level ingredients, plentiful, 1 gold each, and they will provide a level 2 healing potion when combined properly.
So I'm assuming that's a plant, not
Yes.
an animal.
Moose knuckle is reference to just a bulbous tuber-like that grows. Called a moose knuckle
In your pants.
because it's just a big gnarled collection of root. So that's one question
Alright.
down. Anything else you want for the next recipe? Something else specifically, like?
Fortify health, whether temporary and or permanent, if that's something that's easily done.
Okay, fortify health. She will reference that the allspice can do it. And if you can... Well, you're not going to be able to afford that. Yeah, Yeah, and the owlbear blood. You combine those two and they'll
Yeah.
fortify health.
All right. So a recipe for Fortify Health is just combine some allspice with owlbear or allspice with allspice kind of thing?
You can't combine this thing with itself, but allspice with monstrosity blood will provide a fortify health potion.
All right. What level?
Level 3. But for you, if you make it, it'll be a level 2. Because monstrosity blood is a bit higher level than base 1 for that effect.
What about necrotic resistance? Is there something that can be done with easily attainable, or is that too difficult for my kit?
You can make the barest one, I believe, Dryad, Sap, and Life Root, and Guai.
Oh, didn't I already have that?
Yep, we
Never
went over
mind.
this before. But yeah, your kit, combine the two, you'll get a 2-turn resistance. So the best you can make, if you're just combining 2 ingredients, the best level potion that you can make is a level 2, regardless of what you use. If you combine 4 different ingredients that all have a +1 to heal, you'll make a level 4 healing potion. It's cumulative based on how many you put together. So yeah, the more variety of the same effect on on different ingredients you can combine, the greater the level. So sometimes it's worth using 4 ingredients to then making 2 potions out of 2, if you follow. Okay. So what other potions?
Tell me. I don't want her to just tell me the stuff. I'm curious about the effect first before we barter.
Yep.
Tell me, what's an effect that's something that can be done that could really just kind of that's going to blow my mind? What's something neat?
Is Tinsel a sprite or a pixie?
Sprite.
Oh, that's a shame.
Why?
Because she'll go, dude, my favorite one is you combine some pixie dust with some leprechaun clover, and it'll shrink you down.
Whoa.
That is kind of neat.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can get down to about the size of that little fella there, and she points to the you see a whole new world. It's all crutches and asses from that point of view. It's weird, man.
Tell me, what can we do with this giant leaf?
Giant leaf. Let me have a look.
Like, is there a recipe? Wait, how does the rules for alchemy work? Giant leaf is a really rare ingredient, right? So I shouldn't use it, or else I'm just going to end up wasting it.
Well, yeah, it's not quite linear in the various regions. Like some regions, the level 10 ingredient might be extremely common or extremely weak compared to, let's say, the mountain level 10. It's just based on region rarity rather than cross rarity across the regions, if you follow me. And it's basically, yeah, the number of effects and the level of the effects has a kind of exponential effect on the overall gold value of the thing, and the rarity is based on the total gold value. So yeah, stuff with lots of effects or just a couple of high level effects will be quite expensive compared to something that just has a couple of effects or just low level effects, if you follow. So I mean, even the expensive stuff, yeah, you can still use it on proper combinations. And it'll still have the same effect as if you used a cheaper ingredient or even a rarer ingredient. It just depends on what you combine it with. Like if something has a +5 to heal and then a -1 to charisma, and you combine it with just a -1 to charisma 1 gold item, you'll only get the -1 to charisma potion, and you'll waste that +5 heal. Likewise, if you don't have a kit that can do the +5, you'll only get a +1 heal out of it if you follow. So it's
Right. So that's kind of a
Yeah.
waste if the giant leaf has those kind of thing. Eh,
So if you want the explanation, the last question for a giant leaf explanation.
no, actually, nah. I think I'm going to save these for later when I can actually utilize them. Um, tell me, what sort of how can I hook myself up with some oils and poisons? Poisons applied to arrows and blades. Give me something that is usable with common to moderate ingredients. Again, blow my mind. Give me something.
I want you to fucking blow my mind, man.
If you put Mentos
And
and
she
Coke, it
she
makes
waves a little
it edible.
closer and says, "Now, you don't hear this from me, but you mix a bit of Gignaccia petals, the little pink flower, right? Pretty common. And you throw them in with some hop umble, with a little green leaf. That'll fuck you up."
What's it? What's the effect?
It's a poison.
It'll fuck you up.
It's the
Level
it'll fuck
2
you up.
poison.
Yeah, if you combine it with your kit, it will create a level 2 poison.
What's that in terms of damage?
It's basically the exact opposite of a healing, so it'll be 2d4 plus 2.
Interesting.
Is there any way to like make this stuff like airborne, or is this all like liquid?
No, that's as a potion. If you want to convert it to an oil, it basically halves the effect, but you can smack it with a weapon instead. So, yeah, if you wanted to poison your weapon, you'll have to combine those two ingredients with oil instead of water, and basically, it I think it halves the effect. And
So that poison applied as an oil would be 1d4.
I'm just where did I write it? Yeah, it's basically halves the effect because it's a lot more effective if you drink it straight than if you just absorb it through a wound, sort of thing. And there is a DC saving throw for negative effects, which is also based on the level of the potion. So effects there.
And is it only good for like one swing or 1 minute or?
Until you hit, essentially. You've got to hit with it to use it, and then it is just the one use. Potion save. Oh, sorry, no.
No, go ahead.
I changed this from previous edition. The damage is still the same, so it'll still be a 2d4 times 2, except the DC is halved for an oil. So if you force them to drink it, if they drink the poison, it's a DC is 4 times the level, up to a max of 40. So level 2 potion will be a DC of 8 for a Constitution save. Or an oil, it'll be a DC of 4 for a level 2. So these low level things are quite easy to resist.
They're not worth actually making. Tell me, what about something a little bit more moderate level? Something that could really be challenging.
Really fuck you up? Let's see. Effects.
Maybe something with a moderate kind of ingredient. Something that's expensive, but still within our range. I mean, I'm just getting started.
Yeah. No wonder I couldn't find it. That's the wrong fucking thing. Regions. Alright. Alright, so... Well, you need a pretty decent kit to make this stuff, but if you can milk a jellyfish, it's not easy, there's not much in it, it hurts, it's painful. But you milk a jellyfish, and then a grill. You know what a grill is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what that is.
Yeah.
I saw it once in my cereal bowl.
Right. That's weird. Okay, so so you mix them, and you get a potent poison that also paralyze.
Interesting.
So,
I imagine jellyfish milk and grill what, blood?
venom.
Grill venom. I mean, that's got to be kind of hard to come by, yeah?
Yeah, a little hard. Ain't easy to get. But
Do you sell those?
Tell you what, you give me the owlbear, and you deal exclusively with me while you're in town. I'll give you 1 prepped unit of jellyfish and 1 prepped unit of grill venom.
Oh, yeah, that sounds quite fair. Yeah, sure.
Alright.
But we're not quite done yet. You still said you'd give us 4 questions, so...
You had like 5. What do you want to ask?
Jeez.
No, we definitely... I think your memory might be slipping, friend. Definitely, you've only asked me 2, you know? But for sure, we'll definitely... I like the deal that you made. Yeah, what about some poisons that might be able to put things to sleep?
Best you're gonna get is some fatigue. You'd be able to make one with Belize fruit and bone meal.
Bone meal and what?
Belize fruit.
All right.
Which is BALISSE, which is a red fruit with the white flesh, and you probably should not eat it.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, we all know who's gonna fucking eat it the first chance they get.
Right. Okay. Well, fabulous. I don't know. I mean, what other sort of things can potions do? I don't know what to ask.
Well, there's a few different effects. How about a perception boost?
Yeah, that could be useful.
Boost target sensors, granting advantaged perception checks. At level 2 or above, it also grants low light vision. Level 4 and above grants dark vision.
Cool.
Okay.
What is low light vision?
Yeah, basically you don't get disadvantage from a low light check. Which
On
is,
perception?
Yeah, it doesn't help anyone with dark vision because it's basically poor dark vision. If it's dark, you're still shit, but if it's just dusky, you're still fine. But that's,
Just hold my hand and I'll keep you safe in the dark.
That's situational. So if you want that one, let's see what ingredients I gave that to. Cortinarius. I'll just link that for you. Which is a purple mushroom. And green bark. Bark from the arris tree. Will give you a level 2 perception potion.
Cool.
This is all stuff that we'll just randomly roll to get, or is this stuff that we can
absolutely
actually seek
everything.
out?
Apart from the creature items and the bloods and stuff, there are a few things like the mineral components like lead acetate and so forth that you're not going to find out in the bush. But the vast majority of these things you can find on your herbalism checks. There's no plant that you will not be able to find on the herbalism checks. But if you wanted to find a beholder eye stalk, you're not going to just find that out in the woods.
I'm not with that attitude, or not.
No.
All right. I don't know what else to ask. You guys wanted to ask anything else for our last question?
Your last out of 9 questions that you've asked.
Hey, as long as this doped up herbalist is believing me, I'm going to keep going.
Well, I mean, that was the only one I was interested in. Some form of, like, night vision. But
I wasn't paying attention at all, but, what is this stuff?
What's what stuff, man?
The smoke. Yeah.
Smoke? Smoke? Oh shit, there's a fire! Quick, everyone out!
Hey, fuck! Shut up!
All right, is everyone running out?
Yeah, I grab Siona and I'm
What are
running
you gonna
out.
steal? What are you gonna steal?
Tinsel's going to just fucking take everything.
Oh my god, dude!
Alright. Yeah, Tinsel's in there. He's invisible. As soon as this place is empty, he's gonna grab whatever he can hold and then go visible again with just what he can stuff in his sacks.
Tell you what,
Every time. We can't take you anywhere no matter what character you play.
roll 1d30.
Alright.
Really? A 4?
I don't know.
Wow.
You get a 1d30 and you roll a fucking 4. Alright. I'll tell you what. Just to avoid you getting stabbed by guards and, ruining out the fun for everyone, I will let, so Tinsel just grabs the first thing he can see, which is a vial of almost purplish green liquid, and I will let you have a unit of Ankheg saliva.
Alright, cool.
And I'll give you a stern warning to stop stealing shit. It's bad character development.
Really?
I'll have to put you a little bit closer to the chaotic.
I already am chaotic.
Just solidifying your position in the alignment chart.
Has my alignment actually changed from
No.
that frontier justice?
No, not from any individual thing. It's just basically you'll start leaning in the direction that I think you're leaning in over the period of time. Like
Gotcha.
if you keep torturing with your vigilante justice routine, then you might slip a little bit from the good side of things. But alignment doesn't.
He was a
have much-
murderer, though.
Well, you don't know the history between them. Maybe the dude in the cart shot first, and it was self-defense.
Maybe.
he did
I
get shot
know
in the
that
chest
guy.
and not the back.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not like alignment does anything real big in 5th edition. So
It does things to me on the inside.
all right. So no other questions in character or out, as you are basically shoved out the door.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm done.
I check and make sure Siona's okay.
I will say that. She's just glassy-eyed and just blinking repetitively, almost mechanically with the same, like she's keeping a beat with her eyelids or something. It's just constant. I will say that just to jump forward ahead to give you a nice start for next game, during your night's sleep, and I will need payment for the next night, depending on where you guys want to sleep, 2 gold for the comfortable stuff. You do get a rather well-dressed servant who finds Atlas and bequeaths him an invitation to the ball for him and his group.
Nice.
So thanks to his noble
We're gonna
status,
need.
you're going to need formal dress.
Yeah.
And no weapons allowed.
Yeah. Well, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, you would be.
Thank God, Atlas. Well, I guess I'm spending next session looking for a great dress for Siona, and I guess a nice shirt for me, because I usually don't wear clothing except for my kilt and my pants.
Alright. So, yep, we'll call it there. I'll stop recording.